No breaks, we go, 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 go. Don't shade, that's a no, no, no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, me more, more, more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
We can hear you, yeah.
Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10, 10, 80, my save ones. Take to the top.
I see you live on the Denver Racing social page. Yep.
Yeah, it's live.
I'ma teleport my vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Join number 7, he's bored though. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up.
It's there.
It's
just paywall.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Cool. We can hear you.
Yep.
I think our practice has been pretty good. I'm definitely losing a bit of advantage from the new tire model. Is not exactly my best form of driving, but I can still be competitive. I think that my team is going to do really well. Dominic has been pushing a lot. Dayton especially has been putting 60 hours a month in. So he's been racing quite a bit and is quite fast now. And we're working on the consistency to hopefully take home a team win at least. You didn't come through Discord there.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. You sound very distant.
Oh my god. Don's muted. It shows the production team is muted.
Which I think is correct, but it's not coming through Discord. Yeah, it sounds like Denver Racing Social is talking, just the wrong mic.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hello. All right, since they're, I'll interview you. Okay, so thanks Ben for those thoughts. Our next team principal, EJ, how'd your team do over the off season after the big race at Daytona?
Our team's been pretty good, man. We're trying to stay consistent and just finish out these races. This new tire model is going to be a handicap for everybody, so Just gonna try to keep all 4 tires on track and make it to the end.
Make it to the end. That sounds like it's going to be everybody's strategy thanks to iRacing, specifically today. As for me, the Scuderia, as always, latest, greatest Ferrari. I mean, what can you say? Took a 1-2-3 in the real season. You back? Perfect. They're back. I think the variables are going to be somewhat of an equalizer. I would put money on there being more people out of this race for longer than like some people are actually driving. But we'll see. Hopefully there's not a lot of chaos. The problem with races like this is you lose time and then it's hoping somebody makes a mistake, so not that you want to win on those sorts of situations, but at the same time, right, we're looking for win, we're looking for points after our penalties and such. So looking forward, it's going to be how many points can we get, how consistent can we go, and then utilizing Lucas there, our rookie, to really hopefully be an equalizer for Team Monaco Scuderia. So he will be driving today in place of David. David recently underwent surgery. And while he will be with us as an engineer, we decided, like as recently as yesterday, that we didn't want to put his body through that. So we're going to let him get better. We're going to have Lucas race with us for the foreseeable future, give David some time to get better. We love him. He's awesome. So, in the meantime, Lucas, I think, is going to be a great add. He's got a lot of karting experience. A true-to-form rookie. Emphasis on true. And, looking forward to seeing what he can do for the team.
Cool.
Thanks
Thanks.
so
Have fun.
much. Can I be moved to my spot?
Perfect. Yeti? Let me know. Yeti? There we go. Alright, Yeti's been added. You guys just will not have audio or video tonight.
Okay.
No worries.
Can you mute guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race 2 of the Denver Racing Social Broadcast Challenge Series, where we have 12 drivers from 4 different teams racing on an endurance battle here at Sebring. Sorry, 5 teams, my bad. As of right now, we are 2 minutes into the qualifying session here before this 2-hour and 25-minute race. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on. Track is going to be clear, partly cloudy with a little bit of wind here at Sebring. You can see the information on your screen here, and all of these drivers are going to be racing for cash prizes tonight.
That is true. We have the grand prize, $1,500 pot up for grabs. Now, it is earned over the course of all of these races. We do have that addition, this race of the new team that's going to be Moto House. They, for this race, only have 2 drivers, so that does put them at a little bit of a disadvantage, but we would like to welcome Xavier and Christian. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you. We here at DRS would also like to give a shout out, well wishes for David. He is not racing with us tonight for Scuderia Monaco. We have a reserve driver, Lucas Weiland. We just want to get well wishes. We can't wait to get you back on the track. Thank you, Lucas, for stepping in.
Absolutely, there are a ton of new variables here coming into this race. Like my co-host Marissa just said, we've got a bunch of different drivers and a bunch of different mix-ups in the team lineups. But on top of that, all of these drivers are going to have to be navigating around traffic, which is a different thing that is going on for this race compared to the last race at Daytona. We're going to have a couple AI-controlled GT3 cars that all of these drivers in their prototypes are going to have to navigate around to make racing a lot more interesting.
That's right, John. These cars are slower than the GTPs that they are running, so the GT3s, the sponsor cars, will be lapped during this. Coming up on traffic, this is a very bumpy track. We have that obstacle. We have the obstacle of the iRacing update with the new tires. And then each team has put in their own set of practice. Some teams may have practiced more than others. This iRacing update just came down today, so if people had time to practice today, this is kind of their only shot was today to prepare for this new tire.
Absolutely. I mean, speaking of practice, this is a course that a practice would really, really benefit you from. Like Marissa just mentioned, iRacing implemented a new tire compound, or just tire mechanic, that completely changed the way these cars handle on this track. Now, that is going to be something very exciting to look out for, because all of these drivers are going to be dealing with the exact same tires, and that's really going to affect how they race today. As you can see, we are riding on board with Brian Sabelski in that number 5. He was our last race winner here at Daytona, leading for OK Motorsports. And Brian is looking pretty fast today, as he has the fastest time in qualifying right now with a 1:54.5.
That is right. Now, we also would like to plug during this, we have about 5 minutes left of qualifying, but we would like to just put it out there. If anybody wants to sponsor our drivers, if they want to sponsor a race, or if they want to sponsor this whole series, we do have those options. You do get an AI car for being a sponsor, and you can put your information on our cars. We do have some sponsors currently. We have Wilder Racing and Colorado Karting Circuit. Those are both driver sponsors. So if you would like that, head over to the DRS website, and we'll get you signed up as a sponsor. Thank you for being with us, and drop a chat. Let us know if you're here.
Absolutely. We're already seeing some chats come in. We've got some fans for Full Throttle Racing, especially Dayton, in the chat. Great to see you here supporting your local teams. And there will be opportunities to help support your teams throughout this race. If you guys caught our last race at Daytona, we will be offering trivia questions that will allow drivers to engage with the chat, engage with their fans, and also score some points for the series, which is going to happen later this race, which will be exciting.
It'd be very exciting. Looks like we have our first fan of Moto House. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for supporting our brand new team. Let us know if you'd like to join their team. They are still looking for an additional driver, so that that option is out there.
And no matter where you're watching us right now, Twitch, YouTube, send your support in the chat for your friends, for your drivers, for your teams. And like I said earlier, we're going to be asking trivia questions once this race settles down here for drivers to score some extra points. And that shall be really fun. I'm looking forward to commentating this race, and it looks like a lot of drivers are starting to put down some really solid lap times. Looking at the board right now, we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of qualifying, and Benjamin is currently sitting on pole with a 151.6.
Ooh, he cut off some seconds off of that last time. So qualifying, like we said, has running down to about 2 minutes left. I think that's enough for one lap. They have one lap left to try to set their fastest qualifying. Also different this race is that we are doing a rolling start.
Yes.
This race.
Yes, that'll definitely affect, or just where the drivers qualify is going to be a lot more important now that the start is rolling compared to the standing start we did last time. The rolling start's going to allow these cars to have a lot more speed, and hopefully there should be just a lot of chaos here once the race begins.
Now you can tell these teams have been putting in practice. It looks like Full Throttle is pulling in a 1-2 right now for their qualifying.
Yes, absolutely. All of these drivers look really fast. Now, for those of you tuning in at home, for the information on the left side of your screen, all of those times you will see all the driver names next to the yellow. Those will be our DRS drivers competing today, and then all of the drivers in the blue, those are going to be AI-controlled GT3 cars that are just there to be traffic for our drivers to navigate around. So you're going to be looking for those drivers with the yellow next to their names on board with Zabelski right now, currently sitting third in qualifying.
Now you will see the cars look a little bit different, right? The backs of these cars as we come up on them. The back of this GTP has a wider wing. This is Dayton's car. He's driving a Cadillac for Full Throttle Racing. And as they come up on these traffic, the GT3 cars, they look a little smaller, so you will be able to differentiate which car is which.
Absolutely. We're coming down to 30 seconds left in this qualifying session, so if any drivers want to try and improve their time, now is their chance. We just saw a good lap from Gibbons is going to put him ninth with a 1:57, a couple seconds off of pole, but a very solid lap time for him as he's got one more chance to bring it around.
You know, that gap from first place pole position to our, looks like 11th place EJ, that's only, what, 11 seconds? 11-second difference. So I think that these racers are definitely dealing with that iRacing update and the change of these tires. I would not expect to see EJ Luna at the bottom of the pack.
It is anyone's race, like you said, with those tire compounds. We are on board with Christian Martinez here, who just took third place away from Brian Sabelski with a very good lap, and he's looking very solid on Sebring right now.
And Christian is one of our new drivers, so that is awesome. Setting his standards high to begin his off-track, to begin his stint with us here at DRS.
Absolutely. It looks like the checkered flag is out for qualifying, and we've got some drivers in the pit, so it looks like Benjamin Bechtel with a 1:51.6 at the moment is going to be starting on pole.
I am so excited to be part of this race. Those tires are going to be very slippery.
Absolutely. We're going to have almost 2.5 hours of racing that these drivers are going to have to learn how to use these tires through this endurance race, because this is not going to be a no pit stop race. Drivers are going to have to pit for new tires, for fuel, because this is going to be a long race, so strategy is going to play a key factor.
It definitely is. Now, if you guys have any questions for us in the chat, please, let us know. Let's get that chat going. What questions do you have? Who are you rooting for? This race is getting started.
Yes, absolutely. Send your chats who you're supporting here, because this race is about to kick off. Man, that is such a close qualifying battle between our top two cars, between Bechtel and Harrison. Not even a tenth between them, hundredths of a second between them. We got some chatters cheering for Christian and Dayton in the chat. That is what we love to see, these drivers getting all the support they can.
Definitely. Now, we would like to welcome parents, friends, other drivers, anybody interested in joining us. Share the links.
Absolutely. You better share them quick, too, because this race is about to start.
We've got the checkered flag from qualifying.
I'm excited. I'm sure this race start is going to be pretty chaotic, because once the drivers sort each other out, the first couple laps, the next couple laps, lap 5 or 6 is when we're going to start seeing the GT3 cars start shuffling through the field. And once drivers have to navigate through traffic, that is going to cause a lot of commotion in the pack.
Definitely. It's very exciting. Those first few laps, the drivers are going to have to really manage their tire wear. They're going to have to manage, warming up the tires. They still have that to deal with on starting a race.
Absolutely. You're going to hear us talking about tires like all night tonight because of that new tire model from iRacing, so that should be very exciting.
Definitely.
All right, as you're looking right here, you're looking at our starting grid. We've got Full Throttle Racing locking out the front row with Bechtel on pole and Dayton Harrison in second. And then we have Christian Martinez, that new driver, starting third. A great qualifying effort for that driver.
Definitely. Rounding out with Zabelski in fourth and Nick Amato in fifth, bringing in OK Motorsports and Mile High Motor Club. Then we have our second driver for Moto House, Xavier, placing in sixth, Jacob Schiff in seventh, Dominic Wilder in eighth, Anthony Monaco ninth, Bryson Gibbons 10th, Alex Lewis 11th, EJ Luna 12th. This is going to be a very exciting race.
Absolutely. So many drivers scattered across the field. I have no idea who to look at when it comes to who is going to be the favorite in this race. But as you can see, here are the qualifying times and the results, and some things I'm noticing right off the bat here is EJ Luna was one of the more dominant racers last week. Is starting at the back of the pack, 11 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, that's very surprising. So we'll see. We'll see how that pans out for him.
All the drivers now going onto the grid. The drivers are going to have a parade lap to get those tires underneath them before the green flag flies. And like I said, this is going to be chaos once this race starts, because all of these drivers are going to be fighting hard.
It definitely is. And we do have some chatter here in our Twitch chat. If Chris doesn't win, he has to take a shot. And because he started in third, they want him to take 3. Well, come on, Christian. Everyone's rooting for you to win.
Oh yeah, a lot on the line here. As you can see, the pace car is now rolling out, and these drivers are underway. This is the start of a very long endurance race. We've mentioned this in previous races, but 2.5 hours, that's a long time to just sit locked into your sim.
It is a very long time. Now, these drivers need to have as much focus as they can. They have to put in the endurance. We are on board with our pole position, Benjamin Bechtel for Full Throttle Racing. And we're just waiting for lights out.
On board with Benjamin, went off the track there at the very start. This commotion behind, as you can see, his teammate Dayton holds on to second after that start. And we are underway here at Sebring. Oh, it looks like Jacob Schiff with an issue dropping down the order early.
Ooh. Let's jump on board with Jacob and see what happened. Maybe he went off track with the new tires and just spun
Still
out.
a lot of commotion there, but
Oh,
there
yeah,
he
he's
is.
backwards.
Backwards, waiting to re-enter the track. Not a good start for Mile High Motor Club, but this is a long race. He can definitely make that up.
Definitely.
As you can see, we got cars too wide there in the back. We are on board with our leader, Bechtel, currently opening a lead. And we got Christian Martinez up a spot from the start for that new team. New driver, new team. He's definitely making a good start here.
He definitely is. And now you can see that some of our drivers have dropped down to the back of the pack.
Unfortunate for them. They have now dropped down behind the GT3 cars, but it looks like Bechtel holding a very solid 1.5 second and a half lead over second place Christian Martinez.
That looks to me like he's just increasing that gap. All that practice these guys have been putting in. And getting that outlap, though, on cold tires, figuring out, you know, how it's all working, putting in that work is definitely showing off.
Oh, most definitely. We're now on board with Xavier Williams. He is another new driver here for the Moto House GP team. We had mentioned earlier, Moto House GP, their team is actually down a driver or two, and there are only 2 drivers racing in this race, and right now they are performing really well with a 2nd and 4th place here off the start, both of them gaining positions off the start.
Right, they are performing very well. So, you know, they could be really good contenders for that big, you know, prize pool. They really good for this race. Especially only having 2 racers, it's best to have them on the top of the grid or on the podium so that they get the highest points for their team.
Definitely on board here with Brian Zabelski. He won our Daytona Endurance race last time, has lost 1 spot on the start to Xavier, but he's looking to focus in, and I've watched Brian Zabelski here a few races as we have a car off from Mile High Motorsports there. That is the Cadillac of Dayton Harrison. And I was just about to say Zabelski is one of those guys that we know is going to lock in and have some good pace. And talking about good pace, Dayton Harrison off the track early.
And we do also have to remember that these drivers do earn incident points. Now, that includes hitting another driver, including the AI cars, going off the track. Now, the more incident points that they earn, the more likely they're going to have to do a drive-through penalty, which means slowing down, going through the pit lane, and then getting back on track to continue this race.
Yeah, you want to try and keep those incident points to a minimum, especially like you said, with the AI cars driving around the track. We'll keep all of these drivers on their toes so they don't make any mistakes.
Definitely. We are back on board with Dayton Harrison as he is trying to close that 4-second gap between him and second place, Christian Martinez, for Moto House.
Absolutely. Talking about Christian Martinez, we actually have Nicholas Amato here right on the bumper of Zabelski for Mile High Motor Club. Let's see if he's going to be able to make this past Sebring. It's a very wide, very bumpy circuit, so a lot of chances to overtake. So all of these drivers are going to have to be careful, but moves now could benefit you much later on in this race.
I definitely agree, but just like every other track, you have to pick the opportune moment to pass when you're obviously the faster car. Passing in a dangerous corner could cost you the race.
Absolutely, as we're on board here with Nicholas Amato chasing Brian Zabelski for 4th place. Very tight gap between these 2 cars. I'm sure Zabelski's looking in his rearview mirror and seeing that Cadillac for Mile High Motor Club just slowly closing in.
You know, one thing we did see after Daytona was that Zabelski does really good under pressure. Now, he held that pole position, I think, the majority of the race. And so, you know, him having some pressure behind him, I don't know if it's going to phase him that much.
On board now with Anthony Monaco for Scuderia Monaco in that Ferrari, navigating through GT3 traffic.
Ooh, that was
Cutting it
close.
really close, looking for moves. The AI is not having it. He's got to be careful to make his way up the pack, because I believe Anthony Monaco is one of those drivers who did not get the best start at the beginning of this race.
Hey, you are correct, and like I said, finding that opportune moment to pass. If that AI decides to cut a corner close and you're in the wrong spot, that could make you spin off track.
Absolutely. Looking more at the front of the field, we had Christian Martinez made a little bit of an error a lap ago, caused him to drop from second to third, and now Benjamin Bechtel has a 7-second gap to second place right now. I think at the start of a race, that's a very good bubble to have.
It is. It's a very good buffer. And you know, that 6-second gap now is between his teammate, Dayton Harrison. So I don't know if, you know, team orders might be to keep the order, or, you know, Benjamin is the principal of that team and he might say, you know what, Dayton, go ahead and let's switch spots. You take the win. I think it all just depends on how well they're doing.
Absolutely.
As a team.
Yeah, we saw Dayton Harrison go off the track earlier in this race, but he's now back up to second, which goes to show that even if you make a slight mistake, go off the track, lose some time, you can easily make it back up, because we have a long race here.
There
On
is.
board with Xavier Williams now chasing down EJ Luna, who started at the back of the field, as now up 6 spots to 6th, and we have a line of cars. We have 7th all the way through 4th here, battling it out.
Now, this is the traffic we were talking about. They're going to come up on these AI slower cars, you know, and then finding the time, or, you know, everybody's tires wear different. Do they have the tires to pass the car in front?
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on this line of drivers here behind Brian Zabelski. All of these drivers are going to be trying to make up as many spots as they can in this race right now, so that hopefully when strategy comes in and traffic cars start playing a bigger role, they'll have the track position they need over their opponents.
Definitely. Now, just popped over to our chat in Twitch. We are here in the clubhouse. Apologies that we don't have video tonight, but we are in the clubhouse, and we do have Dominic Wilder here in the clubhouse running this race on the motion sim, and he's navigating that really well.
Absolutely. On board with Dominic Wilder. He unfortunately was one of the drivers that had issues here at the start of the race, and now has been battling GT3 cars, trying to make up some ground and catch up to his competition. But like we've been saying all night, a small mistake at the very beginning can be made up over the course of this 2.5-hour race. So I would not be surprised to see Dominic Wilder go up the field as this race progresses.
I agree. And we just saw him pass, 3 GT3s, very clean passes. He caught up to them at the right spot. So that could be definitely part of his strategy.
Dominic making up some ground on the competition ahead, but it looks like we have some battling here up at the front. Zabelski, Nicholas Amato, and EJ Luna have all moved up past Christian Martinez, who has made a mistake and dropped down a couple spots. He was in second earlier in the race, but now I guess the nerves are starting to kick in, and all of these drivers are focusing really hard on their laps. As you can see, just locking up the brakes. Going into the grass, managing to save it and staying out of the way of these other drivers, but unfortunately he's going to lose a couple positions to his teams, now putting him in front of his teammate. Yes, I will also say to the chatter, props to Dominic, having all of the motion in that full 360-degree sim. Definitely something to look out for as a sim racer, as we are on board with Lucas taking a little bit of a spin here at Sebring.
Now we are back on board with Christian, who is in a solid 6th place, right behind EJ Luna, who we are now on board with.
EJ Luna is definitely one of those guys to watch throughout this race. He's already up 7 positions. He did not have the best qualifying time, most likely had some laps voided due to track limits or something like that, because we know EJ Luna is one of the most competitive racers here, and he's showing it right now, sitting in 5th and chasing Nicholas Amato hard.
Definitely working his way back up the grid. He wants to be a contender in this series.
Really close battle here. EJ's got to really think about the track layout and where he can pass, because one wrong move and he can lose all of that position he has gained so far earlier in this race. But I would say he's had a really good start to the race as these drivers are now catching up to the GT3 cars, which is going to make this racing really interesting.
It definitely is. Passing on some of these corners, if you go too wide and hit that grass, you spin, or if you bump another car like EJ just did.
A little bit of contact there with that GT3 BMW car, but they managed to get by safely. EJ Luna now still in the hunk of Nicholas Amato, who is also chasing Zabelski there, who is taken third. Look at that, beating and banging. Zabelski getting around that Lamborghini, just leading the pack of prototypes here through the field. And these guys are not letting each other go.
They are not. They are keeping up with each other as much as they can.
Keep an eye on the gaps between the top drivers. Bechtel started up front and had a very good lead at the start of this race, but that gap has now shrunk to his teammate in second behind him. We got Dayton Harrison and Bechtel, both for Full Throttle Racing, showing they have what it takes to win this race.
They definitely do. And like I said, I mean, it can be a team strategy to use their position to hold off Zabelski and Luna, who are going to be very top competitors for our first, second, and third place.
Looks like Luna has gotten past Nicholas Amato, who has also lost a spot to Christian Martinez. 4th through 7th are all battling super hard. I want to say 3rd through 7th, all of these drivers swapping positions a lot.
They definitely are.
See a bit of a
Biggest
lockup.
thing is that they need to keep their focus. One lockup, one off track. It can take you from 4th to 9th.
Absolutely. We've seen it. Cars can go off the track very slightly missing their braking point, and that could cost them 3 or 4 positions. So all of these drivers focusing really hard here at the beginning of this race. As we have a little bit of a wreck. That is at the back of the field. That's Dominic tangling up. Let's go ahead and see what happens. It looks like he just gets into the... Someone gets into the back of him. Trying to see who that was getting into the back of the Full Throttle car. Unfortunate. It looks like that car behind him just misbraked.
Yeah.
Causing both of them to spin up, but wasn't the worst incident there. It was Alex Lewis from OK Motorsports getting into the back of that Full Throttle Racing car. And they're tangling even in the back of the pack.
Yeah, they are, definitely. Now, this is a true race. And, you know, Dominic, I think, had the best outcome of that. He was still facing the correct direction. He didn't have to stop or turn around. He was able to keep going. However, there could be incident points for that. Not against Dominic, I don't think.
Here we go on board with Jacob Schiff. Looks like he's getting tangled up with the GT3 cars, sending it a little too hard there into the wall. That is definitely going to slow him down for the Mile High Motor Club. Jacob Schiff not having a good start to this race.
Definitely not.
But then we have his teammate EJ Luna, who has been having a great start to this race, is now on the tail of Brian Zabelski, going to be trying to look for a pass here because his pace has been on par, if not better, than that of his competitors. As he's getting dive bombed there by Christian Martinez, he's going to do the switchback, and all of these cars are battling hard. I can tell you that is what Zabelski wants to see. It's the competition behind him battling it out as he drives away.
That is correct. He just increased that gap between himself and EJ Luna. Now, EJ Luna possibly let off the gas a little bit, possibly braked just a little bit so that he wasn't trying to pass on some of these turns. Could be dangerous for Luna, but he is an experienced driver, and you know, as we've seen him drive before, he knows how to handle all of this diversity.
Absolutely. I think he's also one of those people who doesn't really crumble under pressure. As you can see, we've got Christian Martinez half a second behind EJ Luna now, and EJ Luna is still digging, finding time in these corners to find Zabelski as these three drivers are just towing each other along. Sebring.
I think that Zabelski possibly has a little bit of advantage. He has that clean air in front of him. if Christian can manage his racing line, he might get a tow from Luna. But, oh!
Look at
looks
that,
like we have a
going
pit.
into the pits. That's Sebelski going into the pits early. One of the first cars we've seen go into the pits. Do you think this is strategy, or do you think he's serving a penalty?
I think it's a drive-through. I don't know. But I think it might be a drive-through. I think it's lap 9. I think it's too early to be part of your strategy for pitting. But maybe it is.
There he is, stopping in his pit stall. He's going to get out of that battle, and that's going to give EJ Luna the spot, moving up to 3rd now. As you can see, now we have incident points on the table, on that grid there. And drivers, they cannot have too many incident points, or they will have to do that drive-through penalty.
That is correct. If you look down a little bit, farther down on the list of drivers, we have Jacob Schiff with 10 incident points, Lucas Weiland at 11 incident points. Just a few more, and they will have to do a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Brian's strategy is here for OK Motorsports. Getting off the track that early was not something we were expecting here in the commentary booth, but we know he has the pace, so we'll see where he ends up once all of these cars start going into the pits.
That's right. And, maybe it is possible you can adjust your fuel during qualifying, and if you're, not paying attention and just excited to get the race started, he may not have put enough fuel in his car.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely something that we can ask him once we jump into our team chats.
Absolutely, yes. Just to reiterate, we will be hopping in with these teams and asking them some trivia questions from you guys. So chat, let us know if you're still in the chat, who you're cheering on and what you've thought from the start of this race, because there's been a lot of chaos so far. I'm enjoying it.
There definitely has. This is an exciting race. We have all of the new obstacles, and, us being here in the production booth just watching, it's very exciting. I'm sure it's very exciting for the drivers as well.
Absolutely, as we have a change for the lead there at the front. Dayton Harrison is going to pass Bechtel, who looks like he's been dropping down the field.
Did something happen? Is he off track? How is he getting passed?
Looks like Bechtel's lost a little bit of ground here. As you can see, he's going, and it looks like he tapped one of the GT3 cars. That's one of the things you got to look out for, navigating traffic, and then is not able to rejoin the track safely, lets his teammate by, and he's going to get back into the running order around 4th or 5th. That is unfortunate for our race leader.
That is. He does still hold the fastest lap, but navigating that traffic, like I said, that's gonna be part of it. You have to know how wide your car is and navigate those GT3s that are very unpredictable.
Alexander asked if damage is on for this series. It is not. So drivers will be able to get right back on track no matter how severe their incident. Thank you for the question, Alexander. And then we've got the Dayton fans in the chat. Let's go, Dayton, currently in the lead. Took over when his teammate spun out there from the lapped cars. And right behind him, we have EJ Luna. Like we said, started last. Now he's in second, up 10 spots.
We are on board with Dayton. We have a fan of Dayton's in the chat. But it looks like he only has 2 incident points. He's driving a very clean, good lap.
Absolutely. You can just see how consistent these lap times are from all of these drivers. And I think anyone right now in at least the top 6 is really close and in contention here after the start of this race, which is pretty good. And props to all these drivers for staying in it and going at it this hard this early in the race. We're only 20 minutes in, lap 11. We have 2 hours of racing to go.
That is a lot of racing to go. And so much has happened in these 20 minutes. We still have strategies. We have pit strategies. These cars cannot make it without pitting at least once. We have been surprised in the past by some teams having a very wild pit strategy but making it work, and some teams making it a little bit more conservative.
You see on board with Benjamin Bechtel there, being really careful around those GT3 cars. Don't want to make that mistake again. Currently chasing down Christian Martinez for 3rd. which we should also say props to Christian Martinez. He is on a new team. He is a new driver to the series, and he is showing up. Started third and is currently sitting third, chasing down EJ Luna and not letting him get away.
Right. He is doing very well for being new to the series. And, you know, props to him. We have not seen him drive before. You know, some of our drivers we did see at our Le Mans race. We saw at Daytona. But I have not seen Christian or Xavier race, at least not with DRS. So this is pretty good for their, you know, first race with us. They're doing really well.
Absolutely. Shout out Christian. Now, as we look at our running order, as you can see, the second place through sixth place right now are pretty close together, only a few seconds separating them. But then we have Brian Sabelski there in seventh. Now, we saw Brian Sabelski go into the pits, so now we can safely assume that these drivers above him, once they go into the pits, will be coming out around the area where Sabelski is, and that might play into strategy. So keep an eye out for that seventh place car to see where these drivers shuffle out once they start going into the pits. But the racing up at the front is really tight right now, navigating through these GT3 cars. Hopefully there isn't another incident soon. On board with our leader.
Now Dayton does have that advantage, and he is so close to having the fastest lap. Navigating this traffic is, you know, going to hinder that a little bit, but he very much has the opportunity to get the fastest lap, which his teammate currently holds at 151.6.
You can see the gap that he's building with those prototypes very small in his rearview mirror, trying to extend that gap in front of EJ Luna and Christian Martinez, who are currently battling it out right now. Second, third, and fourth are all very close under a blanket, navigating through this traffic.
Now Benjamin coming up very quickly, closing that gap behind Christian Martinez. And we are on board now with Nick Amato, navigating that GT3 traffic.
And let's just take a second to appreciate how good these liveries look. All of these teams have custom Denver Racing Social liveries for all of these races. And I got to say, that Cadillac just looks incredible for the Mile High Motor Club.
It definitely does. That is, and you know, Colorado proud. It definitely is the, you know, it's a Colorado car and you can tell. The liveries for all of our teams are very well put together. I think our drivers are very proud of them.
Absolutely. You can see just how dedicated all of these drivers are to their craft, how invested they are in the sport of sim racing. And it's just awesome to see all of these guys compete at a very, very competitive level.
And we have a fan for Benjamin. Shout out to Cheer and Mountain Magic. Apparently practicing with Xavier, which is probably why he's doing so well in his maiden race. So thanks for keeping our chat going. We're happy and welcome to anybody new who's just joined. We are currently in lap 13. Still have about 2 hours left of our race tonight.
Absolutely. If I was one of the drivers right now, I would be getting comfortable in my seat and really just focusing on prolonging the stint, because this is going to be a lot of racing and these drivers are going to have to be battling fatigue here, especially when we get into the late hours of this race.
It definitely is. Now, sometimes it could be a disadvantage to be, you know, settling in and getting comfortable after about, you know, an hour or two of the race, or an hour and a half maybe of the race. Focus starts to kind of, you know, dissipate a little bit. It's not the beginning of the race. It's not the exciting trying to navigate the tires. And by that time, they've been in the cars and they've been going, and that's why we're going to be hopping into their chats. Make sure they're awake. We can distract them. In chat, let us know if you want us to hop into any team chat. If there's any questions you have.
Let's go ahead and hop on board with EJ Luna here in third, battling hard with Bechtel there in fourth, and it looks like Christian Martinez has gotten past EJ for second, so it makes me think he might have made a mistake, missed a breaking point, and fallen back a little bit, because now Bechtel is right on his tail trying to get that third place back.
He is definitely putting that pressure on EJ Luna, and knowing some of these drivers, know that he is very competitive. He and Dayton on the same team, they are both very competitive. They both, practice really hard. If you were here for our principal interviews before the race started, Benjamin mentioned that Dayton has practiced, I think, 60 hours on this track over the last month. So, he is very prepared, and it shows. He has only 2 incidents, and he's on pole in first place with a 151.6.
Yes, all these drivers going super fast now, but I also wanted to touch back on what you were saying earlier, and that is focus. When the race gets deeper and deeper into the race, hours in, focus is going to be so important, not only because they're going to have to be focusing on their gaps between their competitors, but they're also going to have to be focusing really hard on the overtakes of the GT3 cars. We already saw Bechtel lost the lead, drop back down to fourth because he did not make a very clean pass around one of the GT3 cars. So that is something we're definitely going to be watching out for as this race progresses, because that is one of the things these drivers are battling the most as we get into this race. 26 laps, 26 minutes in.
Definitely. We want to make sure that we are touching back base with our chat. Looks like we have a lot of Full Throttle fans. Props to Dominic for being in our motion sim. Thanks for coming down to the clubhouse and trying it out. And you are correct. It does add another layer of difficulty to these races. But hello to all of our Full Throttle fans and our Moto House fans for Chris.
Looks like EJ Luna is holding a pretty solid gap here over Bechtel in fourth. Both of these drivers racing pretty hard right now, pretty close quarters racing. And this is all for third place here at the beginning of the race. What do you think about the aggression levels so far?
I think it's pretty tame at the moment. It's not the end of the race. Nobody wants to throw the race. If you remember back at our last race at Daytona, I believe it was these two who were battling it out for second place, and it was in the same order until Bechtel was finally able to get that pass. So patience, I think, at this point is the name of the game.
Absolutely, because you can make positions up even at the end of the race. Last time we were here commentating these endurance races, we had a pass here at the very last minutes of the race, which caused a huge change in the results. So these drivers probably have that in the back of their minds, where even if they can't make up any spots right now, there's still a lot of time to get those points and get those spots at the end of this race.
Definitely. They have a lot of time left in this race. So I think aggression should be pretty mild at the moment. Just driving their races. Nobody's pit yet. Actually, it looks like Bryson was in the pit. I'm not sure if he was serving a drive-through penalty or if he was actually pitting.
It's hard to say, because we do have some drivers that had a pretty poor start to the beginning of this race.
Yes.
Jacob Schiff, Dominic Wilder all spun around here on the first lap. As you can see, on board with Xavier Williams here, just gets a little bit loose, chasing down Nicholas Amato there and loses it, and I don't blame him. Sebring is a very bumpy course. It's a very tough track in these prototype cars. Almost saves it, but then loses it under braking. That is unfortunate. But Xavier from Motorhouse has been showing up and running a pretty good race so far. Xavier is the team principal for this brand new team in the Broadcast Racing Series, and despite that little mess up, he's still in sixth and still back onto the track, putting down some good lap times.
He definitely is. Now, I have driven this track in the sim right downstairs. Let me tell you, when we say it is bumpy, it is bumpy. My times were nowhere near this, and I had a hard time staying on track. So it is, it's a bumpy track. It makes it harder. Figuring out where to pass is harder, and just keeping that racing line. It's all harder. This is not an easy track.
not to mention the new tire model. All of these drivers are battling as we are on board with EJ Luna here, who is caught up to second place. Christian Martinez, EJ, has been holding off Bechtel here for the last couple laps, but it looks like he has been able to get a little bit of a some time onto that car ahead of him. Actually, that is not Christian. That is a lap car, number 22, as is going to be lapping some prototype traffic. I was not expecting to see that this early.
I was not expecting that either. EJ does maintain that third place position.
Look at that, super close to the
So
wall,
close
very
to the wall,
fine
our
margins.
camera goes straight into the wall.
I would not want to be this camera guy right now.
Definitely not.
So here on board with EJ Luna, as you can see, he is coming up on a prototype. That is Bryson Gibbons, actually. So he is about to go a
gonna
lap
lap
down for Scuderia Ferrari, or Scuderia Monaco, my bad, in the Ferrari. This is going to be good, though. We have not seen Bryson race against any of these top cars, so we're going to see how well he is going on pace, even though he's not on the same lap as these drivers.
Right, and how well does he do under pressure? Now, I think he will get a blue flag.
Oh, look at that!
No!
And there's some contact behind. That is going to be a spin in the back between EJ and Ben.
Bechtel, I think so.
That is very unfortunate. As you can see, there was a GT3 car in that mess there. That is very unfortunate. Really close battle between these two drivers. And there it is. That is Bechtel getting spun. Very unfortunate. I know Benjamin's not going to be happy with that.
He is not going to be happy with that. That is for sure.
See, I mean, it was just, you got the
See what
Lamborghini
happened.
there. Went on the inside dive bomb there on Luna.
Oh, he had a lockup, it looks like.
Locks up and then just didn't realize Luna was there on the outside. Nothing he could have done. That Lamborghini was also there. Very tight racing quarters for all of these drivers. And like I said, you got to be alert 100% of the time, or you might make moves like this.
Most definitely.
On board here with Luna to see what he saw from his point of view. And yeah, nowhere else for Luna to go. Just hard racing there between the two drivers.
Luckily, that I don't think that ruined Benjamin's race too bad. He is still maintaining that fourth place behind Luna.
Looks like these races are a bit more spaced out now. On board with Bryson Gibbons and his teammate Anthony Monaco behind, currently sitting 8th and 9th, currently a lap down. But both of these Ferraris trying to get some pace back into their race if they want to contend for some good points.
Definitely. I'm wondering if they had some issues earlier in the race.
Absolutely. Like I said, the first lap was chaos, and a lot of those drivers ended up backwards on Sebring, which is not what you want to see at the beginning of this race, but they are making the most of it, trying to make up some good time.
Most definitely. Now, while we were on that break, there were practice sessions that were being held, during that break, and I don't think we saw anybody from the Scuderia Monaco team in those practice sessions at all. So, I mean,
yeah, we'll be talking with all of these teams later on in this race when we go and do some trivia. But like Marissa was saying, Team Monaco didn't have any drivers in the official practice sessions for this race. Now, they might have been practicing on their own and not racing with the other drivers, but still interesting that none of these drivers on this team were in those practice sessions.
yes, definitely very interesting. Now, it looks like we have a couple people in the pit. That is Bryson Gibbons and Anthony Monaco. Now, I'm not sure if they're actually pitting or serving a penalty.
It would look like they were actually pitting. They are on the same team, so it would make sense they would go into the pits around the same time.
That
And what
would
does
make
that tell us
sense.
about the drivers up front who haven't been into the pits yet?
I think they're going to be pitting soon if they're running a 2-pit strategy.
On board with Christian Martinez here. This is the second team that is also driving in that Ferrari, and Christian, like we've been saying before, has been doing super good in this race so far, making up positions, and only has a 3 or 4 second gap to first place, which has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I wonder if Dayton's starting to see Christian in his rearview mirror.
You know, he might be, and there might be some of that pressure coming to Dayton from Christian, who's really pushing it in this race. And like I said, from my point of view, Christian is doing a wonderful job. Especially, this is a very newly formed team. We're happy to have them, and very excited to see it in front of the pack.
For our Scuderia Monaco fans in the chat, it looks like Bryson and Anthony are both out of the pits, probably with fresh tires and full tank of fuel. Let's see what ground they can make up now.
They didn't have a lot of ground to make up. They have been lapped by the majority of the grid. So definitely need to be pushing themselves right now.
But I wouldn't call them completely out of the race yet. They might still be a lap down, but there's still a lot that can happen with our front runners as this race progresses. We're only on lap 20 of this race, so still hours to go.
Definitely. You are very correct. Anything can happen. As we know in these races, lockups happen, off tracks happen. Those AI GT3 cars, they get in your way. So anything can happen, that is for sure.
It looks like Christian Martinez has closed the gap on Dayton in first place. Take a look at that. Maybe Dayton had a little bit of a slip up, but Christian is now right there, and we have a battle for the race lead. Let's go ahead and see what happened to Dayton here. Looks like he got a little bit
he had a
loose. Car all the
lockup.
way sideways, manages to recover it. And there is Christian right there in that red Ferrari, getting held up by that traffic car. And like I said, there are so many variables here. Dayton lucky to hold his spot, but now he is under pressure.
He definitely is. I think he's going to try to be pushing himself to increase that gap, get around the traffic, and try to hold Christian off.
That is even if he can get a gap on Christian. We've seen Christian putting in some really solid lap times, and from the commentary booth, he looks like one of the most solid drivers around this track. Really good racing lines, really good braking points. Very impressed with what I've seen out of this Ferrari. What do you say we hop on board with one of these top two teams to hear what the comms sound like for this first place battle?
I say let's do it.
So us commentators are going to take a quick break. Let's go ahead and tune in to the audio for our race leader.
Probably got 6 more laps before I have to refuel. I am making good time to catch EJ. If I don't get caught in more traffic. Oh my. Oh my god, EJ is all over the road blinking. It's been like a second. I have no idea where the fuck he is. He's gonna teleport in front of me. Oh my.
We are now back on board with Benjamin Bechtel, full throttle racing, and while we were away, we saw a pass for first place. Christian is now in the lead.
We do need to get back live on the race, as this is a replay.
On
And
board
we have
now with Christian, who is
in
going
the
into the pits. This
Now
is gonna.
he is the one who just passed for first place. I wonder if this is part of his strategy.
This will be very interesting to see where Christian comes out in this field, because we saw Zabelski go into the pits early, and we knew he was one of the top runners when he went in. So I'm curious to see if he has made up any time on the leaders here. But we'll have to see where Christian comes out here. We got some fans in the chat. Fan from Moto House. That's what we love to see. And like chat saying, we've got plenty of time, a lot of racing to go.
It looks like he is changing tires. That's why the car is floating, if anybody on the stream is wondering. There it is. The tires have been changed.
It looks like Sabelski has passed Christian now on the track, so it's going to be hard to say where these pit strategies are going to put all of these guys. But Christian in the pits a long time here.
Now, damage is off, so there was no repairs that needed to be done, but if he was getting full fuel, he did have that tire change.
We are currently 43 minutes into this race, lap 23, and I know if I was a driver, I would be wanting some fresh tires by now.
Definitely, especially with this new compound.
Exactly.
I don't know how long this compound is, supposed to last.
All of these drivers are battling with that new tire compound from iRacing, so pit strategy is going to be playing a crucial part in this race, and we've seen a lot of varying strategy already. So it looks like Sabelski just made a pass on Nicholas Amato there for 5th. Slowly climbing up the ranks as we got Jacob Schiff missing the corner there. Going off a little too wide for Mile High Motor Club. Got Jacob Schiff there after going off the track is now making his stop into the pits. And with all those incident points, he might just have to do a drive-through.
He might have a drive-through. Yep. Those are a lot of incident points.
Hopping back on with our leader, Dayton. And then second place, we got EJ Luna. Dayton, we know, still has not gone into the pits yet, as we got a little bit of a spin there from Dominic Wilder. That is a full throttle racing teammate. Has been slowly bringing it back up through the field. On board with Christian Martinez. We saw him take the lead, go into the pits, and it looks like he's still trying to struggle. I would not be surprised if that was a tire issue right there.
I think it definitely was. Because he did change tires, he has to remember now he's on cold tires and has to work up, getting those tires back up to 10.
I feel like now would actually be a pretty good time to talk about the tire changes that iRacing actually made. So, from what I know, iRacing had a lot of people come up to them and be like, hey, the tire model isn't very accurate, especially with the prototype cars, because in real life, prototype cars were not able to take corners on this game as fast as they actually were. So what iRacing decided to do was change the tire compound and make the tires a little bit harder to manage and a little bit harder to break in so that these cars are a little bit more accurate to what they are in real life. Now, what that means is that when drivers are going out on the track, tires are super cold and super lacking on grip. And it takes a long time for the tires to actually get some heat in them. So what we just saw from Christian there was him going out on brand new tires, and I would not be surprised if those tires just did not have the grip he was expecting, and that caused him to spin around.
I definitely agree. Now, the whole thought process, I think, behind iRacing, like you said, was to make those tires more realistic, which means when you start racing, those tires are not up to temperature. Your car has been sitting. You know, we see pit crews when we're watching professional racing try to warm up those tires as best they can. But getting that grip it takes with this new compound, what I saw today was about 5-6 laps to get them up to the right temperature for racing.
Yeah, that's something all of these drivers are struggling with too. It's not just one team. Every single car is dealing with this new tire compound for some of the first times, and that is what is making this racing so interesting. It is whoever can keep their car on the track the best. As you can see, one of our drivers going off, that's Alex Lewis, currently sitting in 20th, but making an overtake there on that Ferrari. Hopping back on board with Christian Martinez, currently sitting in 6th, navigating through some GT3 traffic, which is also very scary on cold tires.
Yes, yes, it definitely is. I mean, you could lock up, you could spin out. One of those GT3s, like I said, are unpredictable. They could hit you and it ruins your lap for sure.
Absolutely. Look at Christian just battling these GT3 cars, trying to get through the field. And what Christian wants to see is this clean, open racetrack in front of him. He doesn't want to see any GT3 cars because that will heavily impact his lap time. Speaking of GT3 cars, Jacob Schiff getting into the back of the Lamborghini, sending that Lamborghini flying. That is not going to be good for his lap time.
It definitely is not.
A lot of these drivers having trouble navigating through these GT3 cars. This is a challenge that they haven't really faced before in this series.
Right, this is the first time we are introducing the AI cars into our broadcast challenge series. So this is new for all of our drivers, and navigating it on this track is also a challenge.
It looks like some of our top leaders are now in the pits. We have Xavier and EJ Luna pitting from the front of the field, which leaves Bechtel and Harrison to be 1-2 for Full Throttle Racing. But I do not think they've gone to the pits. Brian Zabelski, currently sitting in 3rd, went to the pits very early in this race. As you can see, is currently 45 seconds behind the leader. So both of these Full Throttle Racing drivers are just really holding out to see how long they can go without needing to go into the pits.
It is nice right now. We were watching Benjamin Bechtel, who had that clean air, basically just trying to close that gap between him and his teammate Dayton Harrison.
Absolutely, you can see all of these cars. That's the second Motorhouse GP car of Xavier Williams getting through his pit stop. See where that's going to put him out onto the field. Is going to be put him behind his teammate. So Motorhouse, the new team, currently 5th and 6th after green flag pit stops.
And I think they definitely are proving that they are going to be a team to contend with during this series. And then once they get their 3rd driver, who
absolutely,
knows?
out more points on the table as we see our leader, Dayton Harrison, going in for his first pit stop, giving the lead back to Bechtel. And now I believe Bechtel is one of the only drivers who has not made their pit stop. Of course, Zabelski went in earlier. Not sure of his strategy, but now all of the leaders around the same pit cycle are finally completing their stops. And no, the screen isn't floating and the car is not possessed. That is just pit lane.
Your screen is not frozen. He is getting new tires. It'll be interesting to watch how Harrison manages those new tires as he gets back out onto the grid, because he is a contender. He held that first place position for a while during this race. And we still have, you know, an hour and a half to go.
Yes, Harrison and Bechtel, both full throttle racing drivers, have been some of the more consistent drivers at the starts of these races. As you can see, Luna taking that turn super wide, but like I was saying with Bechtel and Harrison, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys were able to get their tires underneath them super quick because of how stable they've looked all race.
Definitely, and they were some of the only cars, I think, at the beginning of the race who did not have that initial spin at the start of the race.
Absolutely, as you see EJ Luna there from Mile High Racing, putting in some good lap times. He's done his pit stop and now he's just chasing down the leaders. I'm very excited to see where all of these cars sort of come out here once the pit stops are done. Like we said, we're waiting on Bechtel and Zabelski here to see when they go into the pits, because Harrison, after pitting from first, is now in third with Luna 4 seconds behind, and then Christian 4 seconds behind. So third,
and now
fourth, and
Bechtel's
fifth.
in the pit lane.
Solid. Let's see where Bechtel comes out here from pit lane. It's going to be very interesting to see where he comes out compared to Dayton, because we knew they were running very close here before the pit stops.
They definitely were. And I am very also interested to see if Zabelski is going to be pitting again soon. Because he did pit so early in this race.
Yes, that's something I am also interested in. Zabelski, though, is one of the faster drivers in this field, we know from the last race, so I'm curious to see where this strategy puts him. On board with Christian here, trying to chase down Luna and Harrison. Only 5 seconds separate those three drivers. We're back. All right, we are back. We got Bechtel now out of the pits. Coming out of the pits in fifth on those icy cold tires. But he is right behind his competition. So there is a battle in our hands here. Christian and Benjamin and EJ and Harrison all very close as we got Benjamin off the track. You can see a little bit sideways there.
Oh, he tried to save it.
That is tough, and I think we can look at the tires for that as well.
I agree.
Look at that. Just gets a little bit loose, almost saves it there, keeps it straight, but then gets a little bit loose in the grass. These drivers got to be careful with these pit stops because, man, those cold tires are dangerous. And we've got Nicholas Amato getting into one of the Lamborghinis. All of these drivers battling hard, and it looks like a lot of these incidents are being caused by the traffic.
They definitely are.
Chat, what do you think of this racing so far? How is your racer doing? How is your driver? We want to hear from you. Bechtel, despite his spin, is still sitting in fifth, 30 seconds in front of sixth, so not a bad gap, but he has a lot of time to make up to Christian in fourth. All right, chatters, let us know who your driver is. If you have any messages, we got Bechtel there going into the pits.
But he was just in the pits. Why is he? Does he have a drive-through penalty?
He might be serving a drive-through penalty. That's what I am thinking of right now.
Dominic's also in the pits.
looks like we have his teammate Dominic also in the pits, possibly just for his pit stop. Benjamin must have had a drive-through penalty because we saw him on the tiny corner of the screen driving past.
Now, chat, we want to hop in the team comms with one of these teams, but we want your guys' interaction. Let us know who you want us to hop in to the chat with, see how they're doing, and if you have any messages for your driver, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, is there anything you want to tell them? Wish them luck? You're rooting for them?
Maybe we hop in to our newest team's chat. We got Moto House with Xavier and Christian. Got some fans in the chat. What do you say we say hi?
I say let's do it.
Hey, Moto House, this is production. You got us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Well, we just wanted to say we've got some fans cheering you guys on in the chat. How's your race going?
It's going good, going good. It's pretty crazy with these tire models. It's zero pace, but it's going good.
Yes,
It's good. It's very good.
we've seen a lot of spins here from cars coming out of the pits, but you guys have been managing some really good pace. And like I said, chat's been cheering you on. Chris, shout out to you.
Chat, shout out Motor House. Shout out Eli. We see you.
You have a message from Keith that says, let's go Moto House. Chris Martinez coming for that P1.
Let's
Tell
go.
Xavier he's amazing and he's going to make moves.
Hell yeah, tell him I said hell yeah, brother. If they can hear me right now.
Let's go.
Hey, Malpano team, hell yeah, Wusu team, what's up, what's up?
All right, Chad is wondering how have your tires been affecting your race strategy?
Oh, the tires are stupid. Go ahead, brother. You go
Yeah,
over
you're
to Xavier.
good. It was pretty rough first couple laps. It's all about pace management in those first few. They started to fall off around lap 20, give or take. So it was just about managing the pace again, just with a different kind of tire. But much better now. More comfortable.
Very professional, Xavier. I'll say this. The very first lap when I changed tires was like on ice. I spun out. It was ridiculous.
Yes, that was going to be my
wonder
next question. Was you guys have
Yeah.
both done pits for tires now, coming out on those cold tires, just how did that feel?
Oh my God.
Careful,
There was
humble.
zero. I mean, zero. I was wondering why I came out behind everyone and I forgot that I had spun until you reminded me. I've been trying to do that math this whole time.
I appreciate these tire model happening when it did, to be honest, being that we're coming in on the second race of the season. It definitely helps kind of level things out, give us an opportunity to kind of fight for some positions here, fight for some good points to get back up.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We are very impressed with your racing tonight. Welcome to the club, and keep going. Christian, your proud wife has mentioned that she's here in the chat rooting for you.
Tell her I love her.
She can hear you. What message do
Oh,
you want to
I love you,
send her?
baby. I love you. This is rattling. Oh, getting dive bombed.
Oh. Oh.
Man, what was that?
Looks like you just got hit by Dayton Harrison. We also have the
Dive
proud
bomb.
love of Xavier in the chat also. Is there anything you'd like to say to your love? Oh, we lost him.
Okay, yeah,
All right, well, you guys have been absolutely killing it, showing up for your first race of this series and absolutely showing you guys belong here. So good luck, guys. We'll be back later to ask you guys some trivia questions, and we'll let you get back to your tire management.
thanks, man.
Thank
It's
you.
hard to talk and race.
Take care, y'all.
No,
Absolutely.
you're good.
Oh, that is great to hear. And we witnessed a dive bomb live. That was
We
pretty cool.
did. We did. We are definitely going to have to talk to Dayton Harrison about that and see what happened.
Absolutely. So now let's go ahead and hop in the full throttle racing chat with Harrison and Bechtel to see how they're feeling. And to
Let us know,
shout out the
chat.
fans in the chat. Yeah.
Chat, is there anybody on Full Throttle that you'd like to send a message to? We'll relay for you.
Yes, go ahead. Send your message to Full Throttle. We're going to hop in with them right now. Full Throttle, this is the production booth. You guys got us? Full Throttle, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, we've been watching some great racing. We just wanted to check in and let you guys know chat's been cheering you guys on. How's your race going?
Yeah.
Could be going better. The AI decided to murder me when I was in first, and I've been playing catch up ever since.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of battles here with that AI, definitely making things interesting. But we just want to let you know, Dayton, we've got some fans in the chat watching you race. Any messages to your fans?
Oh, we're distracting him. Well, you definitely have the support. We have Joel saying go Dayton. Way to be aggressive, Dayton. Don't worry, Dayton. He just got in the way. So. And we also have a fan of Dominic saying go Dominic. So keep it up, Dominic. You've got fans in the chat as well.
Thank you.
All right, now I also wanted to ask you guys about tires because that's something we've been noticing from all of you guys. This new tire model has been really hard to manage. What do you guys think about these really cold tires once you guys get out of the pits?
They're so hard to drive.
Yeah. Even when they're warmed up, they're still kind of, you're flirting with death. Yeah. These are, your job is to not die with these new tires, and that's your entire goal.
Is it more of a challenge for you to have the new tires and AI new this race?
The very slow AI plus new tires on a already really bumpy track that's really hot is just, the combination is incredibly brutal to not spin.
Well, we've been watching. Benjamin, you've currently got the fastest lap of the race, holding it strong here. And as we're nearing the halfway point of this race, how are you guys feeling fatigue-wise? You think you're going to be wired in till the very end? Or how are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, I feel good.
That's what we like to hear.
We did have a shout out for Dominic earlier in the stream, giving props to you for racing this race on the full motion sim downstairs. So extra props to you. We know it's difficult, but you're rocking it. Keep up the hard work.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll let you guys get back to the racing. We'll be back in the chat later in this race to ask you guys some trivia questions with some chat interacting. So keep on racing, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. They sound pretty locked in. They sound pretty good for an hour into this race. Absolutely.
And, you know, outside of, you know, tonight's race, we are in some of these team chats. And let me tell you, especially today with the iRacing update, this team has been communicating a lot. So they are definitely locked in and working hard on this race.
I mean, absolutely. We've seen Benjamin and we've seen Dayton at the front of this field the whole race, basically.
Pretty much.
So these guys are really on it.
All right, chat, let us know. Is there any other teams that you would like us to hop in with? Who else are you rooting for? Looks like we got our video up, so thank you, Andrew, for your hard work.
Thank you, Andrew. Great to see our faces there so you can see our movements when we're talking about these race car drivers. But that being said, I think production is going to take a quick break. We're going to hop in with one of these driver chats, let you guys hear the team comms, and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. But who should we hop in with?
Well, chat, is there someone you want to hop in with? Otherwise, I think we should hop in with OK Motorsports. That's Brian Zabelski, who is our race leader at the moment.
Yes, I agree. I think we should hop in with OK Motorsports. And chat, don't go anywhere. We'll be asking trivia questions as soon as we get back. And we're going to be giving out some bonus points so you can award favorite team as we see Bryson Gibbons there spin out around the really bumpy corners of Sebring. So, all right, we're going to hop into OK Motorsports, and we will be right back.
Yep.
Yep. Strategy works out here and hoping for the best.
Yeah, Brian, we saw you go into the pits pretty early in the race. Was that strategy or was there some other issue?
No, that was strategy. Kind of did some backwards math to figure it out.
So do you anticipate this being your last pit of the race?
Nope, got at least one more.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the new tire model, especially coming out of the pits?
Do not like it.
Yeah, sketchy.
I mean, is the pit crew throwing the tires in the refrigerator or something?
It is hard to say. We have no contact with your pit crew, unfortunately. But we've been seeing your guys' pace. Been seeing some good laps here, and we're definitely cheering you on. Any messages to your fans in chat?
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be able to bring something good home for you.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave you guys to it, and good luck here as this race winds down. We'll be back in the chat to ask you guys some trivia questions for some bonus points here pretty soon.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, welcome back to the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Let us know in the chat. We're going to get started with some trivia questions, though, here pretty soon. So if you guys are interested in doing that, this is going to be chat interactive. You could help out your favorite drivers with these questions. And yeah, I'm excited.
Definitely.
But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in this race right now. We have EJ Luna currently sitting in first. You just heard from Zabelski.
Is that Dayton just passing?
No, I think that is someone else. Dayton is a couple seconds behind EJ Luna here, so that is one of the Full Throttle Racing cars. But we just heard from Zabelski. Him going into the pits a few laps into the race was actually strategy, which I was not anticipating going in that early into the race. But you heard it from Zabelski. I mean, he's a race winner, so I would obviously assume that his strategy has been thought about. So that is some interesting stuff. But EJ Luna currently sitting in first. He started last. He started last in this race. He only has 3 incident points, and he's been racing just super cleanly. We saw him tangle with some drivers earlier in the race, but regardless, EJ Luna now currently sitting in the lead. Dayton Harrison second, Christian Martinez third, and that is 3 different teams in the top 3. That's pretty good.
That is pretty awesome. And we are on board with Sabelski, making his way around the track, trying to close that gap between him and Christian Martinez, who's sitting in third place at the moment. And Christian has the new fastest lap.
Yep, there you go. It was Bechtel, but now Christian with a 151.4. That's around a tenth or two faster than what we saw Benjamin do earlier in the race. So I guess some guys are picking up the pace.
Yep. I think part of it is finally understanding those tires. I mean, they've been on the track for over an hour now, and so understanding, oh, this is how the tires are reacting to my braking points, this is how they're reacting to my turns, how much am I pressing on the throttle, all of those factors, I think they're starting to settle in. And now Christian, our new driver, now has the fastest lap, which is awesome.
Which I am not at all surprised. He's looked so solid throughout this entire race. We saw him have a few incidents earlier in the race, but Christian, we just talked with him, sounds really locked in, sounds really focused, not super happy with the new tire model, but I think I can say that for all the drivers in this field.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody's super happy about it. It takes time to get used to. They're adapting really well, and I think that is one quality you have to have as a racing car driver, is that you need to be adaptable to all the different things, all the different changes that can happen during a race.
Absolutely. Looking at the board right now, it looks like we have a battle for fourth. That's Sabelski and Bechtel, two veterans here of this racing series, battling head-to-head. We know both of these guys are super fast, super competitive, and it looks like they're swapping spots for fourth. They are not giving each other any room. Look at how close Benjamin is to the rear bumper of Bechtel.
He is definitely putting that pressure
Zabelski.
on Zabelski. But finding that opportune moment to pass is going to be key because they are still managing these tires. Now, I want to say that Bechtel's tires are going to be more acclimated. They are warmer because Sabelski did just pit, so that could be an advantage for Bechtel.
Definitely alternate pit strategy between these two drivers, so who knows where they will end up after they do their next pit stop, because like we've heard from most of the drivers, all of these guys have at least one more pit stop before the end of this race. But both of these guys know, even if they're not on the same pit schedule, they want to try and get that track position and pass each other, so it's just a who can make the least amount of mistakes possible.
Exactly. And, you know, once you're getting in front in that clean air, being able to widen that gap between the cars behind you so that you do have time to pit and not come back into the race at a lower position.
Absolutely. Look at that. We got Bechtel on the outside there, going to have the inside line.
And he
Go
made a
through the
clean
turn,
pass.
and he makes the overtake on Sabelski. That is what we like to see. We know he's fast. He had the fastest lap. It was beat by Christian, but we know Benjamin's really fast.
We do know. We definitely know that. Anybody joining us, Benjamin with DRS has had an awesome record for speed, for consistency. He is definitely
For practice.
Yes, for practice. They put in a lot of time. These drivers don't just show up today and are good drivers. So shout out to all of our drivers who, put in the work. We're glad you're with us.
Absolutely. In chat, let us know who are you cheering for, because I think we should start getting some trivia going here
We
soon.
should. We definitely should. So chat, let us know. Which team do you want to give extra points to?
Yes, here's how the trivia is going to work. So we're going to be going into all of these team channels, and we're going to be asking everyone 3 trivia questions. Now, the answer is just going to be a higher or lower kind of question, but you, chat, can also help persuade the drivers with your answer to help us with trivia. We did this last time at Daytona. I thought it went fantastic, and now we have some more questions for you, chat, to answer and for our drivers to answer as well.
It definitely was a lot of fun. Now, you can you can answer either way. You can try to confuse other teams. You can try, really hard to help your team get the correct answer and get those bonus points, or come up with some of your own higher or lower questions, and we'll definitely relay
Absolutely.
that to the teams.
Chat, we want to see you. Let us know. And as we are still on board with Bechtel, looks like he is kind of pulling a gap there on Sabelski, so it looks like he has the pace.
He definitely does. I think he's got his tires warmed up, and now he's trying to close that gap between him and the third place Christian Martinez.
Any Full Throttle Racing fans in the chat? Let us know. Any OK Motorsport fans in the chat? Let us know.
Come on, chat, let us know. Who do you want us to give bonus points to?
I guess they
Or
just
who do you want to distract?
I guess they just don't want to give their
I
favorite team
know.
bonus points.
Maybe
I
they don't
mean-
have favorite teams. How can we help you pick a favorite team?
Absolutely. As you can see on the screen, we are on board with one of the GT3 cars. Now, all of these GT3 cars represent a sponsor for the series. So we have Oasis Car Detailing. Shout out to you guys supporting the series, supporting all of the racing that these guys do. Currently racing in that 31 Porsche. Like I said, Wilder Racing, another driver sponsor here in that BMW, just showing up on the track. And honestly, from what it sounds like, when we talked with all of these drivers about the GT3 cars, the word that they've been using to describe them is slow.
Yes, we knew that they were going to be slow. They are a different model car. They are slower. So just navigating that traffic, it does, create that extra challenge.
All right, well, we've got some chatters in the chat saying to distract EJ Luna, so I propose we go to Mile High Motor Club and ask them some trivia questions.
Let's do it.
Hey, Mile High Motor Club, this is the production booth. You got us?
Sure do.
All right, how are you guys feeling right now?
Just I'm feeling good. Just trying to keep it on track, avoid all the chaos. Rest of the team,
Does
we're
all the chaos mean the GT3s?
pretty much. Well, no, not really. I mean, they haven't given me any problems. I mean the chaos that's going on with the racers and the AI.
Okay.
I've been.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of chaos there, but what we want to do is we want to ask you guys some trivia questions for some bonus points. Now I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions, and they're all going to be higher or lower, and then we're also going to be feeding you guys the information as to what chat thinks so that they can help you guys out with your answers. So anyone on your team can answer these questions, and then whatever gets the most amount of answers will be your answer. Sound good?
All right.
All right, here's your first question. Higher or lower? Is the population of India higher or lower than 1.5 billion people?
Got to be close.
Higher.
We're hearing higher. Chat, what do you think? Chat is saying lower. Are you guys sure it's higher?
You have 2 votes for lower in the chat.
We can go with higher. Why not prove them wrong? I think it's probably lower though. Shoot.
Oh, you have another vote for lower.
Oh, let's hang on. Let's.
We're gonna.
They might be.
We're gonna
mixing
go
you guys
lower.
up.
We're gonna go lower.
You're gonna go lower. Locking it in. Final answer.
I
Locking
agree.
it
Let's
in.
go lower. I don't even think it's a billion, but I think it's close.
All right. The answer is lower. India's population is around 1.4 billion.
Thank you, chat. Thank you. Thank
Wow. Yeah.
All right, there you go. Some bonus points. All right, question number 2. Is the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, higher or lower than 8,500 meters?
Oh, let me do the math on that. Oh man, these questions are so close. You're giving us the ones that are off by like 1,000 feet here.
Chat, let us know.
We're in meters. We're in meters, not feet.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to do the conversion. It's 24,700 feet, Everest, I think, or it's 27,400 feet. I'm forgetting. It's going to be close. I would go lower. I'm trying to do the meters conversion in my head.
Chat, what do you think? You helped him on the first one.
Chat doesn't understand meters.
That's valid.
So again, higher or lower than 8,500, chat, let us know.
That's 15,000. That's 23,500 meters.
Get that math on the racetrack.
I know.
Gotta respect it.
Well, if I'm not racing, I might as well be doing math. Oh wait, hold on. You said meters?
Yes,
Yes, meters.
8,500 meters.
Oh gosh.
You have 1 vote in chat
Oh,
for lower.
meters. It's gotta be higher, right?
We've got higher from the racers. Chat, what do you think?
Hi, chat is saying lower, and then chat also wants you to convert that to yards.
Chat hasn't steered us wrong. Let's go with chat. Let's go lower.
All right, locking it in, lower.
Yeah, let's lock it.
Mount Everest is higher than 8,500 meters. It is 8,800 meters, so very close.
Whoever's
Wait, what was the answer?
Googling in chat, you have to Google faster.
The answer was higher.
Ooh.
These are crazy questions. They're off by like just a smid.
All right, well, last question for you. Is the number of bones in the adult human body higher or lower than 200?
Ooh, I think I know this one.
Higher.
It's higher. Isn't it like 207 or something like that? 214?
206.
Driver's saying higher. Chat, what do you
Chat,
think?
what do you think?
Higher. Higher. Higher.
Chat
EJ
has-
sounds confident.
Looks
Well,
like
I mean, Jake gave us the number, so.
there it is. You guys want to lock in higher?
Yes.
All right, the answer is higher, 206 on the dot.
All right, 2 out of 3, not bad.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to let you guys get back into the race. I know we've got about an hour left here. Any final thoughts, any messages to your fans, any hints on strategy? What should we be looking for and listening for as this race comes to a close?
You should listen to me screaming in pain when my computer dies.
Oh no.
There we go.
Maybe likewise. We're definitely feeling under practice today, but I'm glad just to be in it. So couldn't get the monitors running, but we're here now.
Yeah, it's a handicap for everybody, but we're doing our best. I'm proud of these guys.
Glad we have a full team, and EJ's carrying, so we like that a lot. Way to go, EJ.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Well, EJ, you're currently leading, looking good out there, and good luck as this race comes to a close, guys.
Your chat wants to say
Thank you.
That you should take an extra pit stop just in case. I don't think that that's a fan of yours. Just my own little inkling, but they want you to pit just in case. So.
Oh yeah, y'all pay attention to the pit strategy. We'll be all right.
All right.
All right. Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you go. There's some
Not
trivia.
bad.
Chat, we appreciate your contributions to the trivia. I know you guys do have Google, so that's a little bit of a cheat, but honestly, 2 out of 3 questions, not bad.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
Thank you for steering them in the right direction. They did get 2 out of 3. I am keeping track, so we know who to give those bonus points to at the end of the race. And we will make that announcement also at the end of the race.
Yes, and absolutely disclaimer, these trivia questions that we're asking, higher or lower, were trivia questions that I found right before this event started. So anyone talking about how close the trivia questions are,
We didn't make them up.
we didn't make them. We
do
didn't
the
make these
research.
questions. No,
there
no,
was none of that.
We just wanted to get some questions for our chat, but that's 1 team out of 5 teams that we've asked questions.
Yeah,
now,
so we need to hop in with another team.
Yes, we
Chat,
do.
let us know. Who
Who's
do you want
next?
us to jump in with next? We have not heard a lot from Scuderia Monaco. We know we do have Moto House fans in the chat, but we're going to wait to jump back in them because we do not want to distract them too much from their first race. So we'll give them a little bit of a break. But your options are Full Throttle, OK Motorsports, or Scuderia Monaco. Who do you want us to hop in with next?
Chat, let us know.
We are on board with Christian.
Christian has been putting in some really solid lap times. Like we said earlier, he got the fastest lap from Benjamin, and he's looking really quick in that Ferrari.
Yeah, he definitely is. All right, chat is asking us to go in with Monaco.
All right. We're going to hop in with Team Monaco and ask them some trivia questions. Team Scuderia, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, how are you guys doing? We haven't talked with you guys so far this race, but how is the race going from your perspective?
I think there's like a bunch of technical issues that I've been having, whether or not it's networking or the new iRacing package that just came out today. But a bunch of cars have been blipping. I've been blipping. Other than that, Luke. I don't know what they were saying there. Sorry, it interrupted me. I'd like to shout out Lucas for hopping in as our reserve driver. He's been driving really great tonight. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I've been watching you guys putting in some good laps, but here at the commentary
No,
booth,
I spun again.
Oh no!
Oh,
Was that a lockup or did you hit somebody?
no, I just locked up. I'll do my drive-through penalty now.
All right, well, while you're going through that drive-through, we wanted to ask you guys some trivia questions for some bonus points with some chat interaction. I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions. The answers are either going to be lower or higher, and based on how many questions you get right, you'll get some bonus points for your team.
All right.
Great.
All right, well, here's your first question. Is the speed of a cheetah higher or lower than 60 miles an hour?
Higher.
Higher.
No. Yeah, higher.
Yep, higher.
Chat, what do you
I
think?
think it's like mid-70s or something like that.
Are you
That
sure?
could be
I thought it was like
kilometers.
45. Are we sure?
Your chat says higher. 2 votes for higher in the chat.
Yeah, let's say higher.
All right, they're going with
All
higher.
right, locking it in, higher or lower. The answer is higher. The cheetah can
Okay,
run
good.
speeds
Right on.
up to 70 miles an hour.
Woo, you're 1/3 closer to bonus points.
All right, question number 2. Is the number of countries in Africa higher or lower than 50?
Lower.
I'm thinking lower.
There's a lot of countries in Africa, but I don't think it's above 50.
It is not. There's no way.
Chat, let
Yeah,
us know.
lower. Yeah, lower.
Any geography buffs in chat? Your chat says lower.
Yeah,
You guys want to lock that in?
Yeah.
I think so.
Locking in lower than 50. The answer is higher. There are
No.
54 countries in Africa.
No way.
54, barely
No
higher.
way.
I would have guessed lower too, though. I'm with you guys on that one.
Yeah, I was thinking like lower 40s.
I was thinking 30 something.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right, we've got one more question for you.
All right. Is the year the Titanic sank higher or lower than 1920?
Lower. 1912.
Yep.
Yeah. It was before World War One.
All right, you want to
we're
lock
gonna
that
On
check
my
with chat
birthday on
just to-
1912.
We're gonna check with chat just to be sure, but you guys seem
Yeah,
pretty.
you guys seem pretty confident in this
solid.
one.
Yeah, it was before World War One because World War One.
Yeah,
nobody
wasn't
could
it
get
like
ships across.
July 9th, 1912 or something like that?
We have an exact
I don't
date.
remember. Yeah.
April 14th.
I've watched Titanic way too many
1912.
times.
All right. Well,
Somebody in chat said it happened in 2008.
Yeah, and the moon landing.
That you know, interesting.
all right. Well, you guys are locking in lower, and you guys are correct. It is 1912. And for those of you wondering, it was April 15th, 1912.
April. All right. I'm
God
glad
damn
to
it,
hear.
I knew it was
Yeah.
close.
You were close. You were very close. I am very surprised.
All right. Well, you guys have any last messages to your chat as we leave you guys here to the end of the race? You got a bunch of fans cheering you guys on.
Yeah,
Coming
thanks
for
so
you,
much
Al.
for watching.
Love our fans.
Yeah, we need more teams to join us. Yeah, hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more teams before the end of the season. So if you're tuning in and have a setup at home, join us.
This is true.
Definitely.
Oh, Bryson,
You know,
go ahead.
We also have some Sims here in the clubhouse. If you don't have a Sim at home, we do have some empty Sims that you could take.
Yes, and Bryson,
Awesome.
team principal, any last words?
You know, we got a long race. We're gonna see what we can do. It's been a rough one on my end, but the team's been doing a great job. I know with David being out and Lucas hopping in, he's done awesome as a rookie. You know, stepping in for us, especially when we were down a man. So big shout out to him. And then, you know, these leaders, they're always quick. You know, some of these new guys look like they're putting up a challenge, so hopefully it's exciting for everybody. But yeah, besides that, hopefully everyone has a great rest of the race.
Awesome. Thank you. And we also want to just give well wishes to David. Hope your recovery is quick and you can join us again soon.
I'm hoping and planning to be back for Long Beach. So yeah, a couple more weeks on the crutches and on my way to getting stronger. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, this is fun.
This is fun. What do you think, chat?
Yeah.
How's everything going?
And how are the questions? Let me know how the questions are. I'm doing some immediate research right now. as to these things because ChatGPT has not given me the most accurate answers, believe it or not.
Uh-oh. Now you should be able to see on your stream, there is a camera right now on Dominic who is downstairs in the full motion sim here at the clubhouse. Let's see, he is currently in 8th place with Full Throttle Racing. And you can see it. It is difficult to be driving this track in that full motion sim. You don't have to be from Colorado.
Yes.
Chatter, if you have a sim at home, we can figure out how to get you on a team.
Absolutely. Yeah, just make sure you message Denver Racing Social anywhere where you follow Denver Racing Social. We are trying to get a lot more people into this event, and if that is something you are interested in, please just reach out and let us know.
Yeah, we'll definitely work with you and figure out how to make it work. We will make it a team. We do have a team who's missing a driver. If you just want to be on that team, if you have a sim at home, we can talk logistics. Just send us a message, and we'll get back with you. But you get paid for every race.
Keith asks, do you guys host any races Thursdays or Fridays?
All of our races are on Tuesday nights.
Not at the moment. Currently, all of our races are on Tuesday nights. But Keith, stay tuned. All right, chat. I think it's time for some more trivia. Who should we hop in with? We still have to talk with OK Motorsports. We still have to talk with Full Throttle Racing. And we still have to talk with our newest team, Moto House GP. Let us know.
Hi, if you typically race with Xavier, send us a message and we'll see what we can do to get you onto the team.
Absolutely. I'm seeing messages for Full Throttle. That is Bechtel, who actually, looking at the racing now, it looks like EJ Luna has dropped from the lead. I don't know if that was a pit stop or not, but he just lost a ton of time on Benjamin and Dayton. We are on board with Dayton here. See what we can see from this replay.
Looks pretty clean from Dayton.
Yeah, there's some pretty close calls with these GT3 cars, though.
That is for sure.
All right, I'm thinking we are going to go ahead and hop in with Full Throttle, ask them some trivia questions, and go from there. Hey, Full Throttle, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yep.
All right, how are you guys doing now? We're 51 laps into this race.
Hanging in there.
Yeah, just trying to stay strong.
All right, well, we've got some fans for you guys in the chat, and that means we've got some trivia questions we're going to ask you. I'm going to ask you 3 different questions. They're all going to be either higher or lower, and based on how many questions you get right with chat as your support, you'll get some bonus points for your team.
Are you ready?
All right. Yep.
All right, first question. Is the length of the Great Wall of China higher or lower than 15,000 kilometers?
Kilometers. Chat, let us know. What do you think? Help your team out.
Higher or lower than 15,000?
I don't even know in miles, much less kilometers.
Yeah, I don't even have a guess.
All right, we're hearing lower. Anything from our chat to help out your team?
Well, your fans were in the chat. Where'd you go? Oh, lower. Lower. We're getting 2 lowers. And you have one higher.
All right.
All right, 3 for lower, 1 for higher. You guys want to lock in the lower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and the answer is higher. The total length is 21,000 kilometers.
All right. Well.
All right, question number 2. Is the current world population higher or lower than 7.9 billion people?
Lower.
We're hearing lower from the drivers. Chat, what do you
Chat,
think?
What do you think? Current world population?
Is it higher or lower
Yep.
than 7.9 billion? Chat is saying higher.
I think it's 7.6 right now.
You have 2 higher
pretty sure
and
it's lower.
1 lower.
All of chat is
Another
saying higher.
higher.
They could be messing with you guys. What do you have to say?
You have one chatter, C. Breton, is saying higher and said higher again. I think they really want you to pick higher. Higher, another higher. Oh.
You guys want to lock it in? You want to say higher or lower?
Higher.
We'll go higher then.
All right, chat.
All right.
You've influenced the decision, and the answer is higher.
Yay, good
the
job,
population
chat.
is around 8 billion as of 2025.
Oh.
It's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, we had a Crafty Terry in chat say higher, 8 billion. Just came in a little late. But we have one question left for you so that you can earn those bonus points.
All right, question number 3. Is the age of the Earth higher or lower than 4 billion years old?
How old is Earth?
I'm pretty sure that's higher.
Chat is saying higher, older than 4 billion years. Chat, let us know. We've got 1 lower and 1 higher in the
We
chat.
got another higher.
Coming up behind you, Dominic.
All right.
I'm gonna take you outside or inside right here.
Yeah.
All right, chat is saying higher.
Higher. You have
I think it's
quite
higher.
a few hires in chat.
You guys want? All right, you want to lock it in at higher? The answer is higher. The
All
Earth is
right.
4.54 billion years old. All right, well, good job, guys. On the trivia there, we want to hear from the team principal here as the race is coming to a close. Do you have any last-minute messages to your fans in chat? Talk about your strategy. Any last words before we sign off, you guys?
We're just trying to do the best we can with this all this new stuff coming at us all at once. Not a lot of time to practice. Just trying to survive is the goal. I think that's our strategy. Survive.
All right.
Dominic, how are you doing in that motion sim downstairs?
Doing good. A little toasty, but other than that, fantastic.
Heard it here first, a little toasty. Well, we can see we've got a camera on your full sim. Looks like you're very locked in, so we'll let you be, and good luck as this race comes to a close.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. We do have more messages for Full Throttle. We will get them to, we'll get your messages to the racers. You guys are crushing it. Keep it up.
Take a look at that on the screen. That's Xavier Williams for
Oh.
Moto House GP. Sorry to cut you
No,
off
you're
there, but
fine.
that
He is off the track.
looks like he was right behind one of those Full Throttle racing cars and just loses it. These cars are very sensitive, accelerating out of these corners, so
And getting onto that grass. That grass,
absolutely.
it just makes you slip.
I mean, we're an hour and 45 into this race. We got Bechtel currently sitting in the lead with Luna in second and Christian in third. So these guys are giving it all they got.
They definitely are.
All right, well, chat, we have 2 more teams to ask trivia questions to.
Ew.
And those 2 teams are OK Motorsports and
Moto House.
Moto House, our brand new team. Chat, who do you want to talk to first?
Moto.
All right. Let's go ahead and hop in with our newest team. We got Moto House GP with Xavier and Christian. Both of these guys have been absolutely dominant today. So let's go ahead and get them some bonus points, shall we?
Definitely. And it looks like Xavier is in the pit lane, so perfect time.
Or maybe it's not the perfect time if he's coming out on cold
maybe
tires. Maybe we should check out his Xavier's outlap here before we hop into the chat with him. We are on board with Xavier, and we have heard time and time again from all of these drivers that these cold tires are rough. So no pressure, Xavier, but let's see what kind of lap times you can bust out here.
Navigating that traffic and on cold tires, it's got to be hard.
That's dangerous. I would be a little scared right now if I was Xavier.
Definitely. Now, did he actually pit, or was this a drive-through penalty?
Perhaps it was just a drive-through.
Oh, he was just serving his penalty.
He does have 19 instant points, so it does check out. Okay, let's go ahead and hop in with Moto House and ask him some trivia. Hey, Moto House, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yep.
Well, you guys have been putting on an excellent race. I mean, showing up as a new team, new drivers. You guys have been killing it. How has the racing been from your end?
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm not the happiest with my performance. I've got a couple drive-throughs that I'm not proud of. Would like to not have for the next race, but you know, we take it as it comes.
All right. Well, we are talking with chat, and we are going to be presenting you guys the option to answer some higher or lower questions for some bonus points. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The answer is either going to be higher or lower, and we'll let you guys know what chat is thinking to help you guys out. How's that sound?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here is the first question. Is the number of planets in our solar system higher or lower than 10?
Jesus Christ.
Higher.
I am R-worded. Am I allowed to say the R word?
Higher than 10.
Higher than 10.
Higher.
I believe it's higher because Xavier said it's higher.
The number of planets in our solar system, higher or lower than 10?
Your chat is saying lower.
Okay, then I guess it's lower.
Hey, to be fair, chat, these guys are racing.
I would like to know how
Yeah.
many planets you think are in our solar system if there are more than 10.
Oh, you know what's embarrassing is that I'm in the space industry and I don't know that question.
I said higher. Does my answer count?
Somebody said Pluto isn't a planet.
Chat is
Okay.
all saying lower.
And
Lower.
tell him Keith said lower.
Lower, it's lower. It's lower then. Help from the chat.
All right,
Lower.
you guys want to lock it in lower?
Lock it in lower.
Okay, good. The answer is lower.
Hell yeah, Keith. Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you, chat.
I would love
Thank
to
you.
hear what the
I was
additional
really happy right
planets
now.
are.
I know. I would like to know the additional planets. That
All
would
right,
be
well,
fun.
since you guys are so invested in the space, I have another space question for you guys.
Yep.
Is the distance from Earth to the moon
Oh,
higher or lower than 300,000 kilometers?
Oh my god, dude.
I don't know what a kilometer is, brother.
Can I get help from the chat?
Chat, help us out.
Chat,
What do you guys
let
think?
them
Is it
know.
higher or
Give
lower
me
than
the answer.
300,000?
Google that shit.
Chat, your
Help out our
racers
new
are asking
team.
you to Google. We're gonna have to put a timer on this. Google
What'd they
fast.
say, Keith? Answer, Keith.
Keith, your racers are calling you out. What's the answer? This is kilometers.
Yeah, hurry up, Keith.
Chat is saying higher. Is the distance
Higher.
from the Earth to the moon
Higher.
higher or lower than
Higher.
300K?
We trust chat
Higher's
around
the
here.
answer. Higher's the answer.
They're saying higher, but now chat's
But
saying
someone said
lower. Are you
lower.
guys sure?
Oh, you fuck. Wait, who in the chat? Who in the chat? Because it might be sabotagers.
Keith said lower.
It's
Vagrant
lower.
Said higher.
Vagrant said
trust Keith.
higher.
Keith is now saying higher.
Oh,
Okay,
now
it's
Keith said
higher. It's higher. It's higher then.
All right, you guys want to lock it in?
Yeah,
Lock
lock it
it
in.
All right, they're locking it in. The answer is higher.
Ooh,
Hey, yeah, brother.
80,000 kilometers.
come on, chat. We see you.
All right, and then the final question for you guys is was the number of people living on Earth in 1900 higher or lower than 3 billion?
Higher. We're not locking that in, by the way. We are not locking that
chat,
in.
let us know. What do you think?
What does the chat say? Keith, what did Keith say?
We're still waiting on Keith's answer here. Is the amount of people living on Earth in 1900 higher or lower than 3 billion? Chat, let us know. Keith said lower.
Lower. It is. Lower's the answer. Locking that in.
Baby.
All right, driver's saying lower. Chat, let us know. Keith is saying lower again.
Keith said lower. Keith said higher. Keith said lower.
Wait, what? So what?
Keith,
what's the... Keith, I swear to God, dude, if
I
you're
think
fucking me up.
Chat might be trying to throw
He
you off
hasn't
here.
answered. This
You
is what
fucker.
This is what your chat is saying. Your chat said.
I'm gonna make you take a shot, dude. Any of these answers are wrong. So what is Keith's last answer?
I spoke to Keith. He said lower.
Okay, the answer is lower.
All right, locking it in. The answer is lower.
Awesome job.
Hell yeah, brother.
6 billion.
Get that guy a Motorhouse jersey.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have been killing it. A brand new team. We've got 58 laps down on this race and still a lot of racing to go. Any last messages to your chatters, your fans, anyone who's cheering you on? Any last words?
Hi, my baby Sarah. Love you.
Yeah, love you, Madeline. Love you, Adeline, my daughter. Thanks to team for watching.
Thanks for the
Awesome.
support.
Thanks for showing the love. And I would like to point out, so far, you are the only team to get all 3 of your trivia questions correct.
Hell yeah, brother. Thanks, Keith.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, good luck for the rest of the race, guys. We'll be watching you guys race. Good luck.
Hey, if you get a chance to talk to EJ, tell him Daddy's coming. I'm on his ass.
All right. Message to EJ. Daddy's coming. Noted. All right. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Well,
they
shout out
are
Keith.
having fun. And
Yeah.
thank you, chat.
Absolutely, Keith, helping out your team. That's all you, man. All you, Keith. That's awesome stuff. But that is our 4th team, so we only have one more team to ask trivia questions for. And this race, the timer's ticking down.
It is. It is. We are closing up on this race. And, you know, the gaps between some of these drivers is significant, and some of them are still really close.
3 points for Moto House, Dumbledore said calmly. I like that. It's a good reference. Love that. All right, who is our last team that we haven't talked with yet? I think it's OK Motorsports. So that's
yeah.
Brian Sabelski and Alex Lewis. Alex currently sitting in 15th. Sabelski sitting in 3rd. Let's go ahead, hop on with them, and then chat. Our last time, we want you guys to help us out with these trivia questions to score these guys some points.
Looks like Dayton is trying to pass Sabelski.
Perhaps we should let Harrison here focus on this pass here, as we have Zabelski under pressure from Dayton here.
Or chat if you'd like. We could jump in with Zabelski and try to distract him.
It does look like he's defending pretty hard though, so. On board now with Sabelski, and I'm sure he's just got a rear view mirror full of Dayton Harrison.
He definitely does. That metallic purple and gold livery is just, that's all he sees behind him.
That livery though, chef's kiss.
It is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the tires, the gold rims, that's like, it's just beautiful.
Some great looking cars.
Definitely.
All right, chat. Chat is now asking Keith, who has been the trivia head in this stream, is Keith going to be helping out this team or not? I don't know. It looks like Zabelski's got his hands full right now, so I think we wait a couple more, maybe a minute or two, until there's a little less pressure on his shoulders here from Dayton Harrison there in that Cadillac. Brian, OK Motorsports is actually the only team on the grid now racing the BMW car. Not that that makes a huge difference in the actual racing of these drivers, but it is something to note. 2 different manufacturers battling it out. And like we said, Brian Sabelski coming into this race won the Daytona Endurance race. So he is looking pretty good here, sitting 3rd. And when we talked to him earlier, we did hear that he does have a different strategy than all of these drivers.
He does. And it seems that he also has a different strategy than his teammates. So I'm not sure if they planned that out, if that's just because he's been practicing and he knows that that's what he wants to do. But that definitely seems to be different.
Absolutely. So you can see Brian getting around that traffic car in that Lamborghini. Let's go ahead and ask the final trivia question, shall we?
All right, let's hop in with OK Motorsports.
Hopefully it's not too intense for Brian here.
Chat, we're going to be leaning on you. Or maybe just Keith.
OK Motorsports, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yep.
All right, well, before we start asking you guys some trivia questions, I want to know, how has the race been going for you guys, and how are you guys feeling right now? Brian, we're currently on board with you.
Strategy may not have worked out as well as I'd hoped, but we're hanging in there.
Any thoughts or comments on Full Throttle in your rear view?
No, Dayton's racing me hard, but he's doing it clean, so I got no complaints.
Good.
That's what we love to hear. All right, well,
Love
we
clean
are
races.
going to be asking you guys some trivia questions. We're going to ask 3 questions. The answer is either going to be higher or lower, and we will be looking to chat to help you guys answer these questions for some bonus points for your team. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
First question. Is the weight of an adult blue whale higher or lower than 100 tons?
It's higher.
Driver's saying higher. Chat, let us know what you think.
Yeah, I agree.
An adult blue whale.
They're saying
Higher
higher.
or lower than a ton?
So it weighs heavier than 100 tons.
Oh, 100 tons.
Chat,
Not
let
just
us
one.
know.
200,000 pounds? Yeah, it's more than that.
You know, I'm very surprised that these drivers could do all this math while they're driving.
Oh,
Dayton just went
wow.
off track.
I think he's been by himself. I didn't get a message. I hit him.
It did look like he just got loose, but that is some solid racing, Brian. All right, we got one chat saying higher, one chat saying lower. Thoughts?
We're going to stick with higher.
Higher?
All right, drivers are sticking with higher. The answer is higher. It can weigh up to 200 tons.
Good job.
Good job, guys. All right, question number 2. Is the circumference of the Earth's equator, higher or lower than 20,000 kilometers?
20,000 kilometers. It's lower.
It's lower.
Chat, let
It's
us
about
know.
6,300 kilometers. Or 6,300 times pi, so 9,000.
Let's hear from you, chat. We are fact checking that other one, Keith.
Oh,
we
wait.
see your message.
Wait, no, wait, 1 second.
Yes, the question
no.
is yes.
Oh, it's higher.
Chat is saying higher than 20,000 kilometers. Chat, what do you have to say about that? Thoughts?
The diameter is 12,000 times 3. Yeah, it's higher.
Your chat is saying higher.
All right, you guys want to lock in higher?
You said circumference, right?
Yes.
Yep, it's higher.
All right. Locking it in, the answer is higher.
Awesome
That is
job.
correct.
Good job.
It's around 40,000 kilometers in circumference, in kilometers. All right. Well, you got both of those correct. Right. We got one more question for you guys. Is the number of languages spoken in the world today higher or lower than 6,000?
Lower.
Well, that's a good one.
Drivers are saying lower.
Chat, what do you think? Higher or lower?
Last question of the night. Chat is saying
Chat
lower.
says lower.
I think it's lower, but it's not much lower.
It's about 2,000, 3,000.
Sorry, I'm trying to snake my way through traffic here.
Oh, and we just saw Alex hit a wall.
And I'm trying to dredge up my my trivia knowledge. So.
All right, well, you guys want to lock it in. The question was, is the number of languages spoken in the world today higher or lower than 6,000? Chat is saying higher.
You got one higher, one lower.
I'll trust Alex on this one. We'll go with lower.
They're going lower. Okay.
We're going to go with lower. Locking it in. The answer is higher.
Wow.
There are 7,100 languages spoken in the world today.
There's a lot of very small number of languages, which is what I was trying to think about how many there are, because I knew there's a lot. Oh, instant in the head. Sorry. Okay, we're good.
All right. Well, that was the last trivia question of the night. Now, you guys got a lot of fans in the chat. Any messages to them? Anything else to say as this race comes to a close? We've got around 25 minutes left in this race. How are you guys feeling? How this race has gone and how you think it's going to go?
Pretty good. Feeling pretty good.
Ready here first. They're
All
feeling
right.
pretty good. All right. Well, good luck, guys. As this race comes to a close, we'll be cheering you on, and good racing so far tonight.
Thank you much.
So much.
All right, well, there you go. All of the teams missed one question except for one.
Except our new team, Moto House.
Look at that. Moto House got a lot of help in the chat, so all you guys in the chat,
did.
thank you for contributing to that, but we have got a lead battle on our hands here. We've got Christian for Moto House chasing down EJ Luna for the lead. This is so exciting. I'm so excited.
It is so excited. Chat, let us know. Who do you want to take that first race
Look at that.
lead?
Christian looking on the inside here of that Cadillac down the straightaway here.
They are fighting for that position. Christian is here for it.
Christian is holding that Cadillac up to the outside.
He's got the
sends
pass.
Sends it in deep here on EJ. EJ going to be looking for the switchback here, but you got a traffic car splitting the traffic car. And it's going to be Christian with the pass, but I don't think EJ Luna's done. Is now in that slipstream, going across the start-finish line, going to be taking that left-hand turn, a very bumpy turn in all of these drivers, hugging the inside line. Look at that outside line
EJ's
from Luna.
got the pass.
These guys are battling hard. EJ Luna, though, is going to hold that lead in front of Christian, but Christian's going to go right back at him. What a battle. Christian and Luna, both of these drivers have been battling hard and racing really well. So this is the culmination of this entire race, 2 hours of racing, and our lead is separated by 3, 4, 5 tenths of a second.
That is so exciting, and we know that we have a lot of Moto House fans in our chat.
Especially fans for Christian. Christian looking for his opportunity to shoot it up the inside or outside. Look at that, Christian peeking his nose to the inside, but he's not quite going to get there. Luna is going to hold him off there, but really clean racing from Christian. Doesn't want to take him out, but does want to get that pass done.
He definitely is going to be pushing, taking a different racing line to try to get around.
Oh,
looks like he's making that pass.
Christian on the inside. Looks like EJ's going to let him by. Both of these guys super experienced race car drivers, and you can just tell by the way they're battling each other, giving each other space. We've got a car sideways up in the front. That's going to affect Christian. Christian gets into the back of the spinning car. That is so unfortunate. EJ Luna is going to run away with it. Christian gets back on the track, but loses that gap. Is now 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds behind, and we had a lap car spinning in front of our leaders. That is so unfortunate. We are on board here with Lucas for the Scuderia Monaco team, trying to get back on the track here. And yeah, it just gets loose around that corner. And Christian just not sure which way to go to get around him, and
Now,
just doesn't make his decision soon enough.
And this was another racer that he hit. This was Alex Lewis that lost control and got in front of Christian.
Wow, what a moment there. A close battle for the lead. Christian, though, loses a couple seconds on our leader and is not able to avoid the spinning lap car. That is unfortunate for this brand new team. New driver, new team. That is just what you hate to see.
It definitely is.
Got another replay.
And he actually did make contact.
As unfortunately, luckily for us, the drivers will not be dealing with damage on these cars, but that will definitely slow them down. As we see, Christian is now 22 seconds behind EJ.
Yeah, and that did also give him incident points. Not enough to cause a drive-through penalty, but it did
affect his
that
race.
battle
Yeah.
for first and second.
That is very crucial. I mean, that was a battle for the lead, and just that small mistake, now EJ Luna's got a 20-second gap over Christian, who still has the fastest lap of this race, but unfortunately is going to have to make up a lot of time here in 20 minutes. Chat, that was crazy. I mean, like, we can't deny. Battle for first, lap traffic came into play. Something we didn't really see at Daytona, but let us know what you're thinking there. That is some crazy racing.
You know, we do still have about 20 minutes left of this race. A lot can still happen in this last 20 minutes.
EJ's just got to keep it solid, but from everything we've heard from him, from his team, he sounds like he's just really solid. And again, talked about him at the very start of the race. He qualified last. 11 seconds off the qualifying time, and here he is in first, past every single driver, and we don't know if there's still another pit stop to go, but EJ is holding strong in first place.
He definitely is.
Just
Chat,
wild.
let us know. We rooting for EJ? Did we really want that pass from Christian? We are on board with Anthony Monaco for Scuderia Monaco.
I guess he fits into that team pretty well.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Doesn't look like he has any traffic. He
But-
is a few laps behind.
All right. Now we are on board with the Porsche. Now this is a GT3 car, and all of these GT3 cars that you see racing around this circuit are all sponsored cars. As of right now, we are currently on board the Porsche 911 for Oasis Car Detailing, one of our driver / broadcast sponsors for the series. If that is something you're interested in, there is a very easy way to get your name and your brand out on this racing series in the form of these AI traffic cars, and I think that's a really cool idea.
It is. It is a great idea, and it's affordable. you can sponsor a driver. It's only $20 a race. You can get your own car out here. Let us know what company you're with, and we'll promote it for you. Thank you, Oasis Car Detailing, for supporting our broadcast challenge series and DRS and all of our drivers. We really appreciate you. Those of you watching, please check out Oasis Car Detailing, and yeah, thanks again. This is that Oasis Car Detailing is owned by Dayton Harrison, one of our drivers who we have been watching throughout this race, who does have a lot of fans in the chat. So thank you for supporting DRS.
Absolutely. That just goes to show how much support that this racing series has. I mean, like, the sponsors supporting the drivers, supporting the broadcasters, supporting just DRS in general.
Yes.
So, yeah, some absolutely awesome people coming together to make this event super cool. So, props to you
Thank
guys.
you.
That's awesome. There's our 360 motion sim here at the DRS Clubhouse.
If you take a look at that, you can see how bumpy that track actually is.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, if you don't understand how bumpy Sebring is, you can just take a look at how bumpy the sim is looking right now. I mean, like, it does not look smooth, that's for sure.
It definitely does not. And navigating that and traffic cannot be easy.
Now on board with Dominic Wilder, he is currently in that 360 motion setup, currently sitting in 9th. 15 minutes to go in this 2.5-hour endurance race. And we've seen entertaining battles throughout the whole night.
We definitely have. Thank you, chat, for joining us, for being here with us, for supporting your drivers.
For answering trivia questions, even though the answers were right and wrong. Yes, one of our favorite things to do as broadcasters when we commentate these races is interact with you guys in chat. So I just want to say, on behalf of both of us, thank you guys for just coming out and enjoying the stream, because we've just had a great time watching some great racing.
Definitely. Thank you for chatting with us. We're happy to send your messages to the drivers. And we like to cheer on all of our drivers as well. We are back on board with Dominic, who's going over the bumpy part of the track. You can see as he's racing, that full motion sim is bouncing around all over the place. That is the most bumpy part of this track.
And not to mention, as you can see, he just hit the brakes there, and the front of that simulator just dove down into the ground, which is a hard feeling to describe to someone who's never experienced it. So if you've never experienced a 360-degree simulator, highly recommend DRS.
Definitely.
Feels like a roller coaster.
It is a lot of fun. We do have multiple locations. We are here in Centennial at the moment. There is also a location in Lafayette. We have a mobile sim. If you have a birthday party or a work event that you want to, rent that out, we come to you. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, check it out. Visit the website. Send us a message on anywhere that you're streaming that you see us. We'll get back to you, but we'd love to give you the opportunity to be in this full motion sim, in our other sims, in our mobile sim, or become part of our racing series. We are back on board with Xavier. It looks like he's just driving a clean lap.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point of the race now where any bad mistake from these drivers would absolutely throw them to the back of the order, and they don't want to do that. So I'm sure all of these drivers, along with the fatigue they felt for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes, are just going to try and drive these cars home.
Definitely.
So you see that was a Scuderia Monaco car on the outside there, getting passed by Xavier, who currently sits in 6th for that Moto House team, which we can't say enough about, has just been performing so well in this race.
Definitely. Definitely. And it's good to see them. I haven't met these drivers yet, but they seem to be very passionate about the sport, and they're doing a really good job. We can't wait to see what they bring to the next race.
Pretty good at trivia, too.
Yeah. They've got some good fans in the chat helping them with the trivia.
Got a fan of Dayton in the chat, currently sitting 5th. He's put together a very good race. We heard that the strategy didn't quite work out in his favor. We did see him pit super early in this race, and that put him on a different cycle than everybody else. And he currently sits 5th after that. But keep an eye on that gap between 1st and 2nd. I've seen Christian has been making up a little bit of time on 1st place. Now, he only has around 10 minutes to try and make this pass happen on EJ Luna, who is currently 20 seconds ahead. But that is a number to keep an eye on as this race comes to a close.
You guys mind if I say a couple things?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of walk in here. Ugh. Let's see here. Ugh. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who watches these broadcasts and these two right here. It means a lot to me that this is something worth watching, and these two are doing their part, making these streams very, very entertaining to watch. If I were up here, it would be everyone would have left 10 minutes into the race. Yeah. But I do want to say thank you, and thank you especially to our DRS members who are out there racing right now. We touched on this for a moment earlier, but to be a part of this, these are DRS members. They are part of our community here, so that's why we wanted to do this racing series to kind of highlight their skill set. And as you see, a lot of these drivers are really good. I wish I could be out there with them, but I would be 21st. I'd be way down there. But these guys are putting in a lot of work, a lot of practice, and a lot of those live practices that we were hosting earlier, they were in there almost every other night, and that's a huge amount of dedication. I'm in this building every single day, and I don't even have time to get in the sim myself. So for these guys to manage family, work, everything else, it means a lot that they're willing to put in the practice, make these races happen. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you to our racers. Thank you to our sponsors, Oasis, Simply Subarus, Wilder Racing. I really appreciate you guys for supporting this. The more sponsorship money we get, the easier it's going to be for us to open this up to people who aren't DRS members. So we kind of go nationwide with it, continue growing our audience. So for now, though, it's closed to our members, but it's not hard to become a member. With that said, so for $30 a month, you could be a part of this series. And as we mentioned, there's a $1,500 prize pot. Once our newest team gets 3 members on it, that's automatically going to jump up to $2,000, and then every team after that is going to increase the pot by $250. But there are team prizes or specific driver prizes as well. Really, we're just trying to make this entertaining for the audience. Racing, as I posted the other day, it's not historically the most fun thing to watch, especially if you don't have a racer in the race. It really just, I know you know all the damn racers for NASCAR, right? Like you are in that, and then you're here for every Formula One watch party. But I remember just getting into that, and a lot of people don't really watch IMSA racing. I believe that it is getting a lot more popular in these GTP class cars. In these multi-class races where it's easier to root for a team like AO Racing with their dinosaur car, Rexy, sorry, and then their GTD car out there too. Oh man, I forgot. They have their Dragon and their little T-Rex. So, but that's really opening up racing to a wider audience, kids, adults. They're making it fun. The first time I saw those cars, I was like, that's a little childish. But then to see their fanfare behind them, that's really what I'm trying to do with this series. That's why the trivia is not racing related. It's just supposed to be fun and engaging for the audience. So these guys are going to compete whether or not you're watching them. So to be able to rope you guys in, have this trivia, have you help out them with the points, means a lot. So as we roll into the last 5 minutes, I'd like to say thank you to all you who are watching, who put in the time, because these 3-hour streams are not, well, they're long, but super challenging for these Oh my, Xavier almost,
Oh, I can't hold on to it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's that easy, even in real life. So as that, what is that? OK Motorsports. But I got to go because my computer's glitching. So thank you guys again. And thank you, too.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
Oh. All right. Like I just said, 5 minutes left in this race and some bad news. Keith said it in the chat. Christian has crashed.
Oh, no.
He dropped from second and is now in 6th. due to his game,
his game
breaking.
crash.
That is heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking. Oh. Well, Christian, we are so sorry that your game crashed. We cannot wait for the next race because we know you're going to do great things. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
He was racing so well. We saw him battling for the lead. Unfortunately, get taken out by a spinning lap car. He does have a chance to get back in if he can load his game back in so he can salvage this 6th or 7th place finishing position that he's currently in now.
So that he can still get points for his team as
yes,
well.
Absolutely.
So, Christian, if you're listening, get back in as quickly as you can.
It's just so tragic to see someone who could have walked away with the golden trophy.
Yes.
Unfortunately, get kicked out due to a game issue. That is just unfortunate to
We
see.
are on the same internet too, because he's right across the unit. So when Mike Peter glitched, he probably glitched too.
Oh man, and we do see in the chat we have a fan for Benjamin to keep pushing. Benjamin Bechtel is currently in 3rd place. He was our pole sitter at the beginning of this race. He started in 1st place. He qualified really well. We'll let Benjamin know he's got a fan in the chat to keep pushing till the end.
So let's see if we can hop on board with our leader here as we're coming down to the end of this race. 4 minutes to go, which will equate to around 2 or 3 laps depending on where they are on the track. But here is your leader for Mile High Motorsports. That is EJ Luna. Started in the back and now he's at the front winning this race.
He definitely is, and he's put in the work to work his way back up the ranks to get through all the traffic, through all the other drivers to get that lead position.
He's shown he has had some incredibly consistent pace here throughout this race, and he's just going to try and bring it home for his team. We talked with his team earlier today with the trivia, and they all sounded like EJ Luna was going to be the guy to beat today.
They
so
definitely
here he is
did.
in first.
Yep. And you could tell he's been putting in the practice. He was in those practice sessions as well, putting in the time to, really work this track. I did take a quick glance at our incident points. Unfortunately, we have a driver who has 117 incident points. That's a lot.
That is a lot of incident points, but I mean, it's so much more than the second person with the most incident points. So Jacob Schiff really racing hard out there, you could say.
Yes, yeah. And, we get those incident points by going off track, by hitting other cars. There's some other factors to get those incident points, but that seems to be quite a bit.
As it does on board here with Jacob
Schiff.
Spun. Just spins around coming out of that turn. Could be the tires, could be the car, but just trying to get back on track there.
Doesn't look like a lockup.
It just looked like the back of the car got out from underneath him, and it's just something you don't like to see. Getting back on the track.
Oh, trying to
can't quite keep it straight.
Oh, it seems like he might be struggling with this, and if he didn't have as much practice today with this new tire, that could be definitely causing him some problems tonight.
Now, luckily for him and his team, his teammate is currently dominating this race.
Yes.
So when it comes to the team battle and the points battle, not a lot is lost there because as a team, they are still performing very well. As we have got 1 minute left to go here on board with Brian Zabelski currently sitting second. And after a interesting pit strategy, still finds himself in front of this field.
Place,
I think you can just attribute that to pure pace and pure dedication.
It definitely. Sometimes when you're racing, you don't always race the strategy you plan, but when you adapt and make the changes on the fly as you go, even with us hopping into their chats, they adapt to those changes, and seems like he may not be the happiest with it, but he is coping with it well.
Absolutely, as we've got the race clock clicking down here of the 2 hours and 25 minutes of this race. is finally coming to an end.
Jump on board with EJ.
I'm going to jump on board with EJ here, our leader. Going to be crossing that start-finish line one more time. A fantastic run for EJ, as you can see, feeling happy with his car. Crossing that start-finish line, and that is going to be some major points for that team and that driver.
Definitely is.
Go on his team chat.
Go on.
All right, let's go ahead and hop in with the team chat with EJ. All right. Mile High Motor Club, you guys got us?
Sure do.
All right, well, with the race coming to an end, EJ, how are you feeling after that victory?
Pretty good. I think we still got some guys on track, so might want to give it a minute.
Yeah, everyone's slowly finishing this race, but EJ, we saw you qualify at the very back of the field, drive all the way up through, and with a great strategy, ended up bringing home the win. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I feel freaking amazing. I don't know how I got to the lead, but you know what? I just minded my business, tried to keep it clean, and did exactly as I told you guys earlier. Made it to the finish.
Yeah.
Good. It looks like your strategy paid off.
Oh yeah, pit strategy. That first pit stop, I didn't know if it was gonna make it to the end, but it ended up working it out, and I still have a little bit of fuel left, so probably gonna burn it down here in a sec.
All right, well, congratulations, EJ. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate all the
Yeah,
viewers.
DJ. Nice race, bud.
All right, so we are currently with Christian right here, as we saw, lost some connection in your race. You were running a fantastic race, man. Tell us how that went for you.
Connection.
Yeah, that's just so unfortunate.
It was a great race. I'm gonna get a beer real quick because I need it.
What do you have to say to your
Then I gotta-
teammate, Xavier, who's out there right now just wrapping up?
Major delay.
Yeah, I mean, we
Xavier
saw.
crushed it.
Yeah, Xavier, you're just.
I have like a crazy delay.
Yeah, just do 1 year. That's just off stream.
Oh.
But yeah, what do you have to say to Xavier out there?
Good job,
Teammate.
Xavier. Crushed it. We'll do better next time.
Yeah, here. Let me get Xavier on the mic here. Hey Xavier, it's the production booth with Christian. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Here, let me
Christian, what do you have
actually
to say?
put these headphones on Christian.
Oh, you got live feed right there.
Gotta go ahead and fit so I can hear you guys.
We'll do better next time, Xavier. Good race though, dude.
Hey, it's all good, brother. All good, brother. Don't worry
We'll do
about
better
it.
on the next one, I promise. You got a P5 though.
You
hell
kicked
yeah.
ass, bro. You kicked ass. I appreciate your encouragement. My shoulders hurt. My foot is numb. It's my first endurance race, and I couldn't be happier with the finish.
Oh yeah, man.
This
We'll get all the team principals in a group real quick.
Cool.
Can you pull them into this?
All right, I'm gonna pass it back to the guys here.
Yep.
Streaming going on here.
It's hard.
I'm gonna go sit off camera. Drink the beer.
All right, let's go ahead and get all these team principals in here.
Tough break. Tough break. They glitched over here too.
Thank you to the chat. We see
See
you.
what?
We will relay your messages to our drivers.
All right, team principals, we just want to get you guys all in a chat after the end of that awesome race. Let us know, how did that go? I mean, like, that was just some great racing.
It was a battle, man. Just avoiding all the AI, trying to keep it clean.
Yep. Yeah, I think I got taken out pretty early, but worked my way back. Had a bunch of incidents. Still almost caught Brian with 2 drive-throughs. So I have the pace. I just need to work on consistency, I think, which is true for most of the team.
Yeah, that move you made in a hairpin wasn't very smart, and that's why what happened. I didn't mean to do that to you.
I mean, I had the inside. You were blocked by traffic.
I'll look at the replay.
Had a fine race.
Yeah, EJ was just a rocket tonight. He had such good pace throughout, and just look at that incident count and the guys that finished 1, 2, 5, and 7 incidents respectively. So I think that's a big part of doing well around here is keeping that incident count down.
Yeah, after talking with all of you guys throughout the race, what I want to know is all of you guys were dealing with the new tire model on iRacing. This was some of your first laps dealing with these new tires, and that ended up playing a big part in that race. So for those of you who were affected by that tires, let us know. How did that feel?
Cold.
Yeah, it was pretty tough coming out on cold tires.
Very interesting. Learned a lot going forward with these new tires and kind of what works, what doesn't, and all those things. So you just kind of, it's one of those things you kind of have to do the thing to make it work.
Definitely need to put a lot of practice into it. This pushes the car further from my kind of wheelhouse in driving style. So it's definitely an adjustment that I have to make before the next race.
We just need all our drivers since we made a swap pretty late, and then the tire change really affected our setup tremendously. We had, I want to say, on average, like 6 setup changes within the last 15 minutes before we got started. So lots of trying to figure out the tires based on what we had practiced. We had probably 90 or so hours of practice time, and it felt like it was completely out the door between the AI and the tire model tonight for our team. So definitely the guys up front were wicked quick. EJ I saw a few times back in front, so definitely think some deserving winners win. Good job. I mean, the guys who are clean and they end up prevailing. The ones who make dirty moves end up trailing the leaders. So we'll see what happens at Long Beach. It's going to be a lot harder, a lot narrower, and hopefully a lot cleaner, but that's yet to be seen. And I think the AI are just going to make that even harder, but we'll see what happens.
See you later, Keith.
All right, we do want to. Oh, the chat's disappearing. We didn't check it fast enough. We did have some Benjamin fans in there. Said, I think Crafty Terry said, "Good job, way to work your way back up. Good job to every racer. Great race, Xavier." So we do have your chat in here. We try to relay those messages to you as best we can. And good job to everybody. It was a very exciting race to watch.
And I have one last question for all the drivers that are in the chat right now. And that is, I hear myself. That's crazy. So yeah, my last question for you guys. We turned on, and you guys saw it when I set up the race. We put AI to avoid drivers at all costs. What would you guys say about that? Did they do what they were supposed to do?
iRacing needs to work on that.
Nah, man. I got around the AI just fine.
Yeah.
The idea for multi-class racing is that the GT3s hold their line. I had one.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where it was a little wishy-washy going into some of the corners because it felt a little bit like sometimes it tried to predict a little too well about where you were gonna go, and then you would make your move and be kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back. So it did a little bit of that, but like most of the time, I think it was okay if you were just a little patient and. Like a lot of times the problem people get into in these multi-class things, they try to force things, especially if they're in the faster class, and you just kind of have to, you gotta, I would say you gotta build in a little bit of time, knowing that you're gonna go through traffic and know, okay, some laps I'm gonna be slower, but
yeah, for the most part it's fine, but there's definitely like 2 or 3 times where the car just jumped across in front of me. Yep. So I would rather they don't move because then I know where they're gonna be. Also, they should be way faster. No 10%.
Agreed on faster. I second that.
I just think we should get to a point where we don't need them, but we don't need to have that conversation on chat.
Yeah, I think, to tell you the truth, I think a lot of us
Hey,
were
we're-
having network issues and blipping out because there were a lot more things on the track.
Let's end stream before we get into this conversation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just because you have bad opinions that you like to voice loudly.
One last question: Should we do rain for Long Beach?
No.
No.
Nah.
Absolutely
These tires are
not.
too new, man.
No,
What?
no.
On these tires.
What?
No.
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 Come
No.
on.
Like
No.
rain on street circuits is not very fun, even in real
No.
life, because
Who
what you
said
end up
yes?
getting.
You guys didn't have fun tonight? We were in the rain today. No, come on, it's gonna be this
No.
game, right?
We were in the
Well-
snow today, brother.
Yeah, no shit,
We can
dude.
leave it up to chat.
You and no, we're not leaving anything up to chat. Chat can
Right.
think what it wants of me.
If
but
you-
we're leaving nothing up to
Yeah,
chat.
if you've ever watched a real life race, a rain race
Yeah.
on the street circuit, it kind of becomes like a single file thing, and only passing that really gets done.
Yeah.
is
Long
when
Beach-
people wipe out.
Especially
Long Beach is very
Beach.
tight. Yeah, Long
Yeah.
Beach is very tight.
Yeah,
So
there's
tight.
yeah, there's very limited passing opportunities there. So
Yeah.
it would-
The only passing opportunity is when it widens out before what is it, turn 7 maybe, and it widens at the end of the track, like midway through the
Oh,
track.
yeah, yeah.
That's like literally the only way to pass.
Let's
is
just
that.
turn on damage. Let's just stop. Babying
Yeah.
around the reel. How about we just start having some accountability
Yeah.
and just
Agreed.
turn on damage?
Yep.
I was gonna.
Or is that
what I'm
another?
thinking.
Or is that another bad
Dam-
opinion, Ben? Please tell me
damage.
that's another bad opinion.
Damn it.
I mean, if
Damage.
you want to knock yourself out of the race with damage, go for
Do
it.
you guys want
I will.
damage?
Damage
Uh,
with
like
unlimited
with-
fast
with-
repairs would be I think preferable.
Yep.
And
The best of both worlds.
I would rather not have the GT3 cars, but I know
That is a lot of towing.
I'm with damage.
It
with
is a lot of
AI,
towing.
for sure. Damage with the AI.
I mean, if we're
I think
gonna
would be
have
good.
damage, if we're gonna have AI, we're gonna have AI, right? So
right.
everybody can think whatever they want on that. And again, we've had this discussion, so I'm not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse. But at the same time, if we want to have good close racing, damage would have some accountability with unlimited
Mhm.
fast repairs, which would give you the opportunity to instantly enter back the race. If you have 2 minutes, I mean, you have 2 minutes. It's no
Yeah.
different than a drive-through. I think if that's your argument, right? From a FIA perspective, right? I mean, there's no difference in a drive-through, or if I have to be towed, I have to be towed. So be it, right? Because you're gonna have a fast repair. So,
as well as it does add that layer.
That's true. We
of
could have a safety car,
complexity.
according to chat. We could
I
do
would
safety
love
car and
that.
caution.
yeah,
Yeah.
Would
of-
love
yeah.
that.
And then you
Okay.
actually
Yes.
also, if we're gonna do a rolling start, let's do the formation lap. Like, let's follow the regs
Please.
of IMSA.
I thought we were
rather-
doing a
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how
all
we
of
were
us
too.
did, but like, I don't know who's setting things up, but we need to make sure whoever that is.
Yeah, I thought
knows
we
what
were
to
doing that too. I think that was something up with iRacing.
It
That
did
is-
from the
that is-
beginning.
That's a setting. It's a setting that you
Yeah.
have to do as the administrator on the session.
Yeah.
It's not something in iRacing.
Andrew, I think it actually might be set on the league itself, so you may have to for the
Literally
next
sent
few
the video
races.
for the settings.
Yeah, interesting. Because I thought it was I saw green, and then I was waiting for everybody to
yeah.
go around because I had computer issues before jumping in, and so I was in the pits and I was waiting for everybody to
I
start,
think we were all
and
confused
then
on that.
yeah, and then everybody just went. So I was like, okay, I guess it's time to go.
Yeah, I had a slow start thinking that we were gonna do a full formation.
Yep.
Yep.
So
All right. Damage for next race.
Yeah.
Damage with
cautions.
safety
fast
car
repair.
would be with cautions
Cool.
would be awesome. That would
Yep.
be awesome. Although it is Long Beach, so
who
All right,
fucking
get some
cares?
practice
We were
in,
gonna
guys.
add
Thank you so
range.
much. I do appreciate you, and thank you to commentary. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for hosting. It was
Yeah,
fun.
thanks,
Yeah.
commentary.
a lot of fun.
Trivia was fun.
We'll end it there. You guys want
Yeah.
to close this out?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you guys.
Hey, real
liked
quick. I run Moto House, and I just want to appreciate y'all for having us in here. This is my first endurance racing that I've ever done in my life, so I'm a big fan and appreciate y'all.
Well,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
We're
Welcome,
happy
welcome.
to have you.
Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave you guys. John from production signing off, and make sure you guys keep that trivia up.
We'll let you know when the next race is. Follow us on all the socials, denverracingsocial.com, and we hope to see you next race.
All right.